Donaldson opposite field base hit. That would be perfect for him. Or unless he hits a 3-run home run.
Donaldson drives one. Left center field. Has he done it? He has!
Last night, the Athletics kicked off the second half in style in front of the 1989 World Championship team. With the postseason in the green and gold sights, tonight we will continue to honor one of the great teams of baseball's past and a first-place battle between East and West. It's the A's and the Orioles, Game 2, next. Terrific atmosphere tonight here at the O.Co Coliseum as we look back and celebrate the 1989 World Championship team, and we got a good ball game as well. Game 2 of the series. It's the Baltimore Orioles and the Oakland A's coming up on Comcast Sportsnet, California. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Oakland A's baseball. Along with Ray Fosse, I'm Glenn Kuiper. Well, terrific pregame show, and Ray, I think these two teams are going to have a tough time matching the excitement of last night. Obviously, more excitement for the Athletics, but Josh Donaldson, he's done this walk-off thing before, and he did it last night.
You know, Kev, I think it's appropriate that the man who coined the phrase was in the booth last night, the walk-off, not because of what Josh Donaldson has done, what he did last night, about the third time in his career, but he started it, Wilhelmsen, and he has just continued. He did it against the Tigers down the right field line, and you're going to see it right here, but then straightaway center field for Josh Donaldson last night. But this opposite field, that was a big one for him as well, but none bigger than last night, where the A's were down by a couple in the ninth inning. One pitch, straightaway center field, a little bit left of center field, but nonetheless a 3-run home run, the walk-off, as our good friend Dennis Eckersley would say, but it was a walk-off, and the A's were victorious in the first game last night.
A lot of boos last night for Manny Machado, the young third baseman for the Orioles, but I got to say one thing, this young man is a very good player, and he showed it last night.
You know, all those negative things happened when he was 21. He's 22 now, but last night they booed him, but he came out on top because he did a great job, a single to right field, but the biggest hit, of course, is what he did to give the Orioles a 2-run lead, which took it into the ninth inning, a 2-run shot down the left field line. He's a gold glove type third baseman. He's a great hitter, and yes, he is only 22. He's going to be around in the American League for a long time.
Now tonight, Jason Hamill will make his first start in front of the home fans, so I'm sure he is indeed looking forward to that. Two first-place teams squaring off. It's the A's and the Orioles on a very special night at the O.Co Coliseum as the pregame show all about the 1989 World Championship Athletics. Terrifically done by the A's organization, so we'll talk about that in just a moment.
on Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Head to Jack in the Box for the new Jalapeno Ranch or Barbecue Ultimate Cheeseburgers at participating restaurants. And by Toyota, #1 in NPG, durability, and resale value. Toyota, let's go places.
Now Jason Hamill and the Athletics take the field, getting set for Game 2 of this 3-game series. A's won in dramatic fashion last night. Hamill making his first start here at the Coliseum, and he will do it in front of a sellout crowd, and a crowd that is, well, they're ready to roll tonight. A lot of excitement before the game. Game time weather presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is now open daily. 68 degrees, 10 miles per hour is the wind. And a few clouds above us, and of course the earlier start, so the entire field at this particular moment in sunshine, the playing field at least, but that'll change quickly as the shadows move quickly. The Orioles switching things up, wearing the orange tops tonight. Here's their lineup. Nick Markakis in right, Steve Pearson left. Then Adam Jones center, Cruz DH, Davis at first, Hardy is the shortstop, Machado at third, Hundley is the catcher, and Jonathan Scope is the second baseman.
And it will be right-hander Jason Hamill, former Oriole, on the mound facing the Orioles in tonight's second game of the series, wearing the familiar number 40. 19 start overall, only one with the Athletics. And kind of one thing stands out. Came in to that game against the Giants with a very, very good strikeout to walk ratio, yet he walked 3. So maybe new team, things happening, but they ended up getting the loss in that one start against the Giants back on July the 9th.
Defensively for the A's tonight, Cespedes, Gentry, and Moss in the outfield. Donaldson, Lowry, Punto, Fryman on the infield with Norris behind the plate. So we're set to go as Nick Markakis steps in. There's your shadows creeping up right near home plate. And the first pitch of the ball game is a fastball just a touch outside. So we're underway from the Coliseum. Terrific pregame ceremonies honoring the 1989 World Championship team. And I thought what was great about it, Ray, is, I don't know if great is the right word, but it was fun, it was exciting, it was also emotional a little bit.
Yeah,
paying tribute to the late Bob Welch.
And current manager Bob Melvin, as the team had lined up on the red carpet in center field. He was waiting with yellow roses and gave one to each player, and they positioned them behind the mound in honor of Bob Welch, whose uniform number 35 is in the A's dugout tonight. Not surprised.
1-2 pitch to Markakis. Curveball lofted to shallow right field. Moss coming in, still coming in. He's going to play it on a hop, and it hits his glove and then bounces out in front of him. He's able to keep it in front of him. Markakis leads off the ball game with a bloop single to right field.
Well, if there's ever a time to excuse an outfielder, this would be it. A curveball that Markakis, the big swing, but remember the sun is in right field, and it's going to be in right field as long as this probably at least an hour plus. We have the game started at 7:05, 7:07, but by 7:30 or so, your right fielder is in the shadows or shade, but not right now, and that's a tough play to be able to pick the ball up off the bat coming out of the sun, and Brandon Moss just could not get to it.
Well, just for fun, the shadow is right through home plate, and that's where it's at now. And you watch when the A's come to bat in the bottom of the first, they will have moved quite a bit by then. It's right there, cutting through the batter's box. 1-1 the count to Steve Pearce.
And hitters will tell you that ball coming out of the sun into the shade, and it just makes it tough to pick up the spin of the baseball.
Paul Emmel will call balls and strikes tonight. And there's Jerry Meals. He's down at third, and he's your crew chief. A big curve from Hamill, slow, 2-1. Jason Hamill was an Oriole for a couple of years, 2012 and 2013. He was 8-6 in 2012. He was 7-8 last year. Swing and a miss, 2-2. 3 years in Colorado before that, and 3 years with the Rays before that.
Jason Hamill with that good sinker down, and took a little bit off the pitch on the inside part of the plate. He's a ground ball pitcher. He'd like to get one now to get a couple, if not to strike out.
And that one bends Pierce back out of the way.
But he has a close stance and maybe leaning a little bit towards the outside and up and in. Last night 3 Orioles were hit, all 3 unintentionally, but they still were hit on fastballs missing inside and locations sometimes on the outside part of the plate. But Marja did not follow through completely a couple of times.
3-2. Markakis runs, pitches outside. He walked it.
Well, in last night's game, it started with the catcher. This was barely just on the uniform blouse, Joseph, and then this is the unfortunate one because Hardy fortunately turned away and kind of a glancing blow off the helmet. Always dangerous up in that area, and just Marja making sure he was okay, and then Adam Jones on the left shoulder. And really, it was just a matter of Justin Marja not following through. It had 7 days in between starts. Whereas Hamill tonight with 10 days, this being the 19th. But in trouble for Jason Hamill the first inning.
So here's Adam Jones, 299 with 16 home runs, 54 RBIs, and the first pitch is low.
It'd be nice if the A's could get the lead and hold the lead without having to try to come back in the 9th inning. That's probably a better scenario. Sometimes it does not always happen.
Nelson Cruz in the on-deck circle. I think last night one of the things that really helped the A's a lot, and we didn't talk about it because of the walk-off, but the A's turned 3 double plays last night, but they were all huge because they just really snuffed out rallies.
Reno was playing second last night. Nick Punto tonight.
That one's hit high and deep to left field. Cespedes is at the wall. 3-0 Orioles. So a single, a walk, and a 3-run homer.
That's not a good way to start a game. That was a fastball that should have been hit. That's almost like home run derby, location-wise. Velocity a little bit more than what hitters get in the derby. But I think Adam Jones, who was hit 17 after hitting 16, I think he had a pretty good idea that was going to go. The problem the A's have, Wei Chen is a little stingy. He's a pretty good pitcher.
Stingy against the A's, that's for sure. So here's Cruz, who's got 28 home runs and 74 RBIs. He was quiet last night, 0 for 4, and he hit into 2 of the 3 double plays. And when you get the other team's cleanup hitter to hit into 2 double plays in a game, that's huge, especially a guy with 28 home runs. So now 3-0, and that one was not close. So the crowd, 3 batters into the game, a little restless.
And a big crowd on top of it. I mean, you have standing room only, a huge crowd tonight. Second game of the series. Of course, great turnout for the fans to honor and pay tribute to the 1989 World Championship team. They were loud in their appreciation as the players were introduced.
Cruz hits a high pop-up, and Norris cannot find it. Fryman comes hustling over there. It's just foul. And we should tell you, Ray, that we're going to chat with Tony La Russa, which will be fun. It's always fun to talk to Tony. And a treat for you later on in the game. Jose Canseco is going to come up and join us in the booth. So looking forward to talking to Jose Canseco. Swing and a miss on a curveball. So Cruz strikes out.
And really commend the fans when Jose was introduced.
Huge ovation.
Huge is correct. Hanging curveball, but it fooled Nelson Cruz. Fooled him enough that he swung through the ball.
First baseman, number 19.
Well, it's kind of unfortunate because you look at this inning, and that's the first out. What might have happened if Brandon also being able to pick up the fly ball that Markakis hit, as he was fooled on the breaking pitch, but it landed in front of Moss, then the walk and 3-run home run. That quickly. You never know how things could have changed or been different if that ball had been caught, but well, what a tough sun in right field. And tomorrow afternoon in the series finale, the left field is going to have to deal with a tough sun.
So 0-2 to Chris Davis. Davis with 15 home runs, 48 RBIs. Well off his last couple seasons, which is a bit of a surprise.
We talked last night about the Orioles and their number of home runs that they have hit. All 7 runs in this series so far accounted for by the home run. 2 2-run home runs last night, and it's just 3-run in this first inning.
117 now on the season for the Orioles. Tied with the Blue Jays for the most in the American League. Most in baseball, actually. And the 2-2 pitch. Davis swings and misses, so back-to-back strikeouts for Jason Hamill.
Time now for the Nissan keys to the game. Like to ride the momentum from last night of the 9th inning, as you can forget about the 3-run home run by Adam Jones, but it definitely does not get old. It never gets old. Play like champions in front of the champions. Josh Donaldson last night, remembering the 1989 team success they had. So they try to come back again tonight.
J.J. Hardy steps in at 284. And a quick 0-2 to Hardy. 3 home runs, 26 RBIs for the Orioles shortstop. That Hamill curve. So a 27 pitch first inning so far. Close pitch, 2-2. Hardy with a couple of hits last night, and he scored a couple of runs. Curveball hit to left center field. That's it well. Gentry's back, and that one is gone. 4-0. The Orioles lead here in the first.
Well, he struck out Cruz with a 3-2 curveball. Davis with a 2-2 curveball. A 2-2 curveball just left the yard. And you talk about a reaction, or kind of a late reaction by a hitter. Watch Hardy as the curveball comes in, plants his foot, and then unloads. That's just an upper body swing. And it's going to hit off the facade above the Xfinity sign. Huh.
Yeah, it almost looked like a little hesitation, and then he swung.
Yes, he did. And a big home run.
So this is Machado, 274 with 10 home runs. He had a good night last night.
Maybe it will stay light enough and warm enough that when the A's hit, the same will occur, because the ball seems to be carrying well. Not that the 2 that have been hit needed much help.
So 4 home runs in this series already for the Orioles. Another curveball. This one bounced to Donaldson. Donaldson fires in time. Machado's retired, but damage done by the Orioles in the first. They hit 2 home runs, and they lead 4-0. the A's come to bat with some early work to do. Crisp, Gentry, Cespedes, Donaldson, Norris, Lowry, Moss, Fryman, and Punto. That's your Athletic starting lineup.
And it is the lefty Wei-Yin Chen pitching for the Orioles. 9-game winner for the left-hander. And he has very good control. As you can see, the strikeout to walk ratio, only 18 walks in the start against the Athletics on the June 6th. He did not walk the bat. It came up a couple of home runs early to Donaldson and Norris. The Yanks would tie the game late and win an extra inning. Chen a no decision, but pitched very well, as he usually does against the Athletics.
Defensively behind Chen, Pierce, Jones, Markakis left, center, and right. Machado, Hardy on the left side. Scope, Davis on the right side. Nick Hundley is your catcher tonight. Matt Wieters out for the year. So Chen is ready. So is Coco Crisp here in the bottom of the first. Coco 292 with 7 home runs and 31 RBIs. First pitch, fastball called to strike.
The fastball will range from low to mid-90s. Top at about 93, 94. 2-4 seam fastball, curveball. So throw a slider to split. His change. And when you know a pitcher has good control, it helps you as a hitter because you know he's going to be around the plate. Coco taking 2 pretty good fastballs, hittable fastballs, but Chen has gotten the strikes.
Well, we've seen him enough, Ray. His stuff is not going to wow you, but you're right. He's got very good control, and he will throw inside to right-handed hitters.
That's Josh Donaldson.
Right past Mike Gallego. Chen will be 29 years old on Monday. From Taiwan, 6 foot, 195 pounds, and this is his 3rd year with the Orioles after pitching for 4 years in his home country of Taiwan. That one lofted toward left field. Pierce on the run, still on the run, and in front of the wall, he makes the catch. Steve Pierce was pulled over toward left center, so he had a long run, but he was able to get there.
See if he played a little bit deep to be able to get to it as quickly as he did, but slider into the hitting zone for Coco Crisp did not cook it enough down in the corner. And Pierce, as you mentioned last night, getting a lot of playing time, especially left field.
So here's Gentry. Here's that shadow ray. It's now between home plate and the pitcher's mound. So that's how far it has moved in probably 7 or 8 minutes.
Good timeline, huh?
Yeah.
Shadow.
I'm into that shadow thing tonight.
I know. It's a good thing as long as we can sit up here and watch the monitors instead of trying to hit it.
That's true. This is probably the worst, right? It goes from sunlight to shadow.
And if you're a hitter that's good enough to actually pick up the spin of the baseball and determine what the pitch is, this makes it tough. I think most hitters try to say, I want to look fastball, and then I'll make an adjustment on something off speed. Right. That's the high first camera looking down and seeing the shadows.
Here's that inside corner, and it's 1-2 to Gentry.
That's just an easy 92 inside corner, but when you have the type of control, this is what you can do with just the one pitch, the fastball.
And I just remember him being inside, outside, inside, outside. He was 7-7 last year, and he spent a couple months on the disabled list last year with an oblique injury, so that kept him out of action really about a third of the season. Overall, his 3 years in Baltimore, a 28-21 record. So he's done a nice job for the Orioles. This one lofted to shallow center. And Jones calls off Scope. And Adam Jones has it, 2 outs.
That's what happens when the fastball inside outside. That pitch on the inside corner, and Greg Gentry just trying to protect with a couple of strikes, reacted a little bit late, hit it straight up. And those are called little just pop-ups, not really long drives.
So here's Cespedes. Couple of hits last night for Cespedes, and he scored on the walk-off home run. So maybe a couple of hits last night will get Cespedes going. 249 is his average, with 14 home runs and 56 RBIs. It all started with Cespedes just kind of chopping one down the third base line in the ninth inning, leading it off. No chance to get him. And then Moss with a broken bat single, and then Donaldson on the first pitch he saw a home run, and that was it. It happened quick. What did we say? 6 pitches?
I think it was 6 pitches.
3, 2, and 1.
3, 2, 1. Blast off.
That's a very high. Hardy out. Pierce in. And Pierce makes the catch. Side retired. 3 fly ball outs for Wei-Yin Chen, and we're on to the second inning. 4-0 Baltimore. Dave Parker on the left, Ricky Henderson on the right, enjoying tonight's ball game. Maybe not enjoying the score, but I have a feeling that whatever the score is tonight, those guys are going to have a very good time.
Well, those two guys can make a huge comeback. One can get on base or hit a home run to try to run a bases, Ricky, or steal a base, and Dave Parker could drive him in. I mean, that's a great combination right there to produce some offense.
So Jason Hamill trying to have a easy inning after a 32 pitch first inning. Curve, and that's strike. 0-2 to Nick Hundley.
I thought after the 3-run home run, a couple of strikeouts, Jason Hamill could pitch perfectly the rest of the game, and he has a chance to come back. J.J. Hardy changed that, hitting a hanging curveball. So now he'll come back from a 4-run deficit.
Moss shading his eyes, and Moss is there. All right, here's our true story brought to you by McDonald's, talking about the 1989 World Champs. Regular season, they were 99-63. That was the best record in the majors. 5 guys in the top 20 in the MVP vote. 3 guys in the top 6 in Cy Young. They beat the Blue Jays in 5, swept the Giants, and how about this? Hall of Famers, Ricky Henderson, Dennis Eckersley, Tony La Russa, and let's not forget Lon Simmons, who's a Hall of Famer. And Lon, if you are watching right now, and we certainly hope that you are, congratulations. And terrific Hall of Fame announcer. He was behind the mic, and he called games 3 and 4 of the World Series. From what I understand, Bill King got laryngitis. Is that right?
That is correct. And Lon is watching. I talked to him today to wish him a happy 91st birthday on this July the 19th. So Lon, a special person, as we all know, great broadcaster, but great friend, and celebrating his birthday today and watching. And I know he's already upset seeing the 4-0 deficit, because Lon was one of the all-time greats. And you're right, Bill, unfortunately, contracted laryngitis in between the A's winning here and the unfortunate earthquake delay of 10 days. Came back, and Lon did 9 innings on game 3, 9 innings game 4, and great final out call was by Lon Simmons.
So 2 outs here in the 2nd inning. What else was going on in 1989? George W. Bush was the president. Gasoline, just $1.12, Ray. The good old days. Batman.
Number 21.
49ers were the Super Bowl champs. Pistons, NBA champs. Average cost of a new home, $148,000. Again, the good old days. Sonny Gray was born in 1989.
Wow. Broadcasting World Series, and young up-and-coming star Sonny Gray was just a baby. Just born.
How about that?
Amazing. You know, another gentleman involved in that 1989, one of my broadcast partners on TV, with great Monty Moore.
Yeah.
Monty down in Porterville, and Monty and I worked together on the TV side. Monty had come back in '88, working through '92, and of course part of those great teams as well, broadcasting. And Monty told me that his son Donnie and daughter Deanna were both born on July the 18th, which was yesterday. Different years apart, but both of them born on those days. So a big weekend in Porterville for the Moore family. So a couple of great broadcasters, and Monty Moore on TV, and Lon Simmons, of course, on the radio side. The great late Bill King passing notes, games 3 and game 4, passing notes to Lon and me, and just saying, I can't talk, but I'm going to pass these notes along, because all these pertinent things that I want you guys to be able to talk about.
And knowing Lon, he used them all.
Now batting, number 28.
And, well, knowing you used them all too.
Well,
Not,
listen,
right?
hey, he was going through the work of passing those nights, and Bill's penmanship was spectacular. I mean, he could print, put his lineup in. He always did it in pencil, because in case there was a mistake, he could erase it and not have to use whiteout. And Lon had his little score book, and he'd say, the game's on the field, and surely was. But how about Lon? 91 today.
Yeah.
And
happy birthday, Lon.
Happy birthday, and going strong. And boy, you listen to Lon, he could be broadcasting today.
Yep. Do you have any jokes for you? Couple. He's always good for one or two.
Well,
Although he's told them a lot. That's the thing.
Well, yeah, and you know, he I'd say just a wonderful man, and so giving. And never, if you went out to dinner with Lon Simmons, you never ever were able to pick up the check unless you got there an hour before and told the waiter, the waitress, give me the check, don't give it to the man, because he's going to ask for it. That's the only way you could avoid having Lon buy you dinner. Very, very giving person.
Yeah, how many announcers are there, you think? And there's only so many, you know, 2-team markets, obviously, but 4 of them. But how many announcers could you say are beloved by both teams?
Absolutely.
I mean, that's
right.
amazing in itself.
That's right. And for Bill King, maybe all 3 in the Bay Area. Lon, of course, the 2, and of course he did football as well. 49ers
right.
and Giants and A's. So you're right. Nobody better. Lon introduced me to my first play-by-play on radio by telling me, don't worry about it. Spring training. He said, I'll be in the booth with you. He introduced me and walked out of the booth. That was my introduction to play-by-play on radio.
Well, Lon introduced me to my wife, but he didn't give me advice after he introduced me to it. So I was on my own. Curveball wafted in the air. Cespedes going back. He's going to have enough room here. Warning track. He's got it side retired. So a hit and a runner left. Bottom of the 2nd coming up. It's 4-0 Orioles. spotlight most walk-off wins since 2012. We should not be surprised that the Athletics are on top. 29 walk-off wins, 1 ahead of the Phillies, 2 ahead of the Reds. Pirates are on that list as well. Most walk-off wins since 2012. So number 29 was last night, thanks to Donaldson. He's also this year had 10 wins when trailing after 7 innings. That's pretty amazing if you think about it.
Yeah, those numbers are usually about 35-1 that you don't to the opposing teams, but he's, we talked last night, and it just seemed like the game was going to be over. I think the Orioles, everybody thought that, and in the matter of the 6 pitches and 3 batters, it was over from the A standpoint. They just don't quit. And that was the man who gave it up. He forgot about it already. That's a good closer mentality. That's right.
Doesn't do any good.
But it took 1 pitch to Josh Donaldson. He knew it, or at least he thought it, although it didn't make it out by that much, but just enough for the 3-run home run.
Two and two now to Donaldson. He'll be followed by Norris and Lowry here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Donaldson 21 homers and 68 RBIs, and he swings and misses at a changeup, 83 miles an hour.
A similar pitch that Coco Crisp hit, but this one down to the back foot, and much harder pitch to try to make contact, and Donaldson swung over.
36. Derek Norris.
So that'll bring up Derek Norris. Norris hitting in the 5th spot tonight, hitting .295 with 9 home runs, 38 runs batted in. Homer last night.
He just need to find a way to get on the board, trailing by 4, and that's always a good sign when a team can score a run. And then hope the pitcher is able to shut down the Orioles, in this case Jason Hamill, who did it last inning on top of this inning.
And sometimes even 1 run can get you rolling a little bit. Lowry to follow here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. And there's that good control from Chen. Right on the outside corner.
As long as he is ahead of the count, he won't utilize the middle part of the plate. And that's what a good pitcher is able to do. Work both sides at the corners, and that's why his catcher only moving inside. There's your fly ball.
And that's out number 2. So indeed another shallow pop-up.
Last night, Tillman tried to go inside, and Derek Norris was very quick. And that quickly.
Shortstop, number 8.
So here's Lowry hitting .237. 4 home runs, 34 runs batted in. Lowry was 0 for 3 last night, and that stopped his 9-game hitting streak. Right on the outside corner. Lowry, of course, a switch hitter. As a right-handed hitter this year, hitting .225, .241 as a left-handed hitter. One-two pitch, and that one's drilled to right, but Markakis is there, and that's a 6-up, 6-down start for Wei-Yin Chen. We're on to the 3rd inning, 4-0 Orioles.
20 years old, imagine.
4-0, the Orioles lead, top of the third inning, and, well, we promised you Jose Canseco, and he is in the booth with us. Let's take a look at his 17-year major league career.
Nice picture. What is that? Am I doing the Macarena there or something? What is that?
That was in 1990 when you were in Cincinnati going.
When the tight pants were in and the hip swing was in, I guess.
It's all right.
It's all right. You look good. Number 33, that's familiar. Get the guns, the pipes, still everything looking good?
A little belly, a little bit.
You're not the Lone Ranger there. Don't worry about that.
No.
So you're giving the forearm bash to some of the autograph seekers yesterday when you were signing autographs?
Yeah, they want to feel what a forearm bash really felt like back then. But I said, wait a minute. When we did that, we did it a lot harder, and you had to defend yourself against the forearm bash of likes of McGuire and Dave Henderson. Those guys are strong.
So what do you say now when you see some teams actually utilize the forearm bash when a home run? Have you seen it, or is it
sure.
Seems like there are some teams, some players that are doing that?
I've seen it. I love it. I think it's great. They're out there remembering, I guess, the old Oakland A's and the forearm bash, and it was very contagious back then, and everyone was doing it.
Well, during introductions, when you guys came out of center field, obviously Eck and Ricky got the loudest ovation, but Ray and I looked up, and we thought your ovation may have been the third loudest. Did that catch you by surprise just a little bit, and how did it make you feel?
It did. I'll tell you. For me, between what's happened, I wrote that book, Juice, coming back here. I didn't know what to expect. I'd been an emotional wreck for the last week, finding out that I was coming. The last couple of days, I really couldn't eat it all. Very emotional back there, and I'll tell you, I want to thank the fans. I want to thank the players, Tony La Russa, for accepting me back with open arms, because it was the most hectic time of my life. I didn't know what was going to happen, and I'm glad it's over in a way, but the acceptance and it feels like I'm back with my family again.
Well, it had to feel great because Manny Machado just moved off the face of the earth, and you show up, this play goes crazy, over 36,000, and
yeah, it helps. I mean, the guy gets booed, then he hits a home run, then he gets booed again. Wow.
But I think it's commendable that when the invitations were sent out that you accepted, because I'm sure there were a lot of things and people wondering where you're going to show up. Actually, Mike Gallego, I think you had talked to him and the A's at the Fan Fest, and people asked, and Mike at the time evidently had confirmed through you that you were going to be coming.
Now batting.
Got an applause in as well. So commendable to you to
you have no thank you, Ray. You have no idea how happy I am to come back. I'm going to sleep well tonight.
Well, listen, you had a great career here. I mean, people cannot forget it. I'm thinking in the old stadium, which would have been 86, your rookie year coming up, and the old stadium, I say the old, before they built Mount Davis, you hit your first home run.
Right. Left center.
Up
off
on
of
the top.
Russell, I think.
Exactly.
Yes,
yeah.
Jeff Russell, yeah.
Don't bring his name up. The late Bill King. That name just did not register well. He was supposed to do a lot more than he did when he came here. So,
right.
But anyway, and then the Grand Slam in '88.
World Series '88. My first Grand Slam at the major league level. It's funny because I hit a lot of three-run home runs, but I couldn't get that Grand Slam going. It was kind of strange. I think I just pressed too much.
And you hit the camera
yes.
in center field, the slam, but.
Gee, I looked thin there.
You were.
I was. I said that because I was.
Yeah, look at Maggie. All you guys were thin. You're in shape. You're young. Now this was the one. How about this one? Now
Flanagan. Cut her in.
Yeah, but the most amazing thing though,
I missed it.
You did.
I did.
Fifth deck in Sky Dome, and you missed it.
Well, the Sky Dome, the ball carries so much that really. No, I've hit balls a lot harder than that. But for some reason, that ball carried a long way to Sky Dome. And it was right down the line. It was an illusion. It was only like 350. That's all it went.
Yeah, right. I don't think the people in Toronto thought that.
Yeah, they still talk about it.
Yeah. When you came back in, shake your head. What's wrong with it? I didn't get it all. Yeah, give me.
Or I lied.
Well, I faked the latter because
I fibbed a little bit.
When we go in there and Cap and I look up there and see that, and he didn't get it all, and there are not many guys that have gone up. That Carter, I think Joe Carter did, and
Manny did. I think a couple times from what I heard.
But I mean, just really. It's an area that most players wouldn't even dream about going in. They're happy with the second level of Rogers Center. But you had a great career here, and the postseason, and talk about, of course, the '89 season, a special season, I'm sure, for all of you. But you had mentioned Tony La Russa, and we've heard a lot of players talking about how Tony kind of set the tone for the ball club. What did you see in Tony, and how much he helped you?
Well, they obviously really think about it. He had a lot of characters, a lot of egos, a lot of different personalities to do with. He had a team of superstars, and he had to basically put these guys on the field and get them to play together. And you know, I always thought he was a master at that. I always thought that he set rules and he expected you to play by those rules. And you know, a couple of the rules, he said, never be late to the ballpark, and when you get on the field, play 100%. And let me tell you, I was late to the field a couple times, and I heard it, and I got it, and I understood it. So he was just a great technician out there, and he really knew how to get the best chemistry out of all these superstars together.
Chris Davis with an RBI double, and the tough start for Jason Hamill continues. It's now 5-0 Orioles.
That's going to be it. Kurt Young's already gone out, so Bob Melvin, which very quickly, Dan Otero, just like in the third inning.
So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change, tune-up, and brake experts. Home runs, 40 stolen bases, becoming the first player to go 40-40 in a season in big league history. Only 3 have achieved it since then: Bonds, Rodriguez, and Soriano. So quite a feat right there at County Stadium in Milwaukee.
They actually let me take that back. I'm amazed.
Yeah.
I was kind of begging the umpire. Can I take it?
So did you have, I mean, when you got close to those numbers, the 40 homers and 40 stolen bases, you had to be thinking about it, right? I mean, nobody's ever done it in big league history.
I was, and a funny story, it's a true story. My first attempt to steal that bag, I think Nieves, a left-handed pitcher, was throwing, and my mind said go, and my legs locked up on me. I actually got nervous, and my legs just locked up. I go, oh my God, what are you doing? So then actually the next pitch, I had to convince myself to take off and steal second base, and I actually went that time, but I was supposed to steal actually on the first pitch, I think. That's how nervous I was about it.
Sometimes the home run is tough to get, though, right? Were you sitting on 39 for a while?
Well, I think the home run, the 40th, is the hardest to get because there's only one way of hitting a home run, the fence. But I mean, you could steal regular second base or the back end of a double steal. So there's a lot of ways to do that, but there's only one way to hit home runs. Yeah. So I always thought the 40 stolen base would be the easiest part of it.
In Cap, it was County Stadium.
Yeah. Your
stomping grounds in Milwaukee, and I remember working with the great Monty Moore, and Monty said, Ray, you have to go down in the dugout, so when Jose's game is over, you have to interview him. And I interviewed him down in the dugout on the field. And but that was quite a treat. I mean, 40-40, if you thought about it, I think the great Mickey Mantle once said, well, if it's such a big deal, I would have done it.
I was like, gee, thanks, Mickey. That was great.
Yeah, you remember that, don't you?
I worked so hard for that, darn it. You could have done it every year.
No, it wasn't that easy, and I think what would say 3 have done it, and that's it. So if it were that easy, then a lot more would be doing it. But
And what's funny, what made it worse is that people wanted me to steal the 40th base at home when we came back off the trip. And I said, wait a minute, what if I don't get the opportunity? What if I don't get on base? What if I don't get hurt? What if I get hurt? Now I'm kind of thinking about it. Should I just wait and do it in front of the home crowd? But what if it never would have happened?
Well,
that would have been the worst.
I figured out maybe Ricky followed you then, because Ricky waited to get home to steal the all-time Lou Brock record.
Yeah, you think? No, he was just stealing bases at will.
Well, it just happened to be at home when he did it. So it worked out well for Ricky. Yeah, he could steal anything.
Yeah.
But, you know, the thing about the 40-40, if you really think about it, if you have a power hitter, it's going to hit home runs. But typically a power hitter is not going to be able to steal bases. So to combine those two, that says a lot about the ability to have the speed to steal bases, but also the ability to have the power to hit home runs, because it's not that easy to have both combined.
But you know what was the worst thing and the dumbest thing I did? I actually came into spring training and said I was going to do the 40-40, and I didn't realize that no one had ever done it in the history of the game. I thought players had done the 40-40 before. I didn't really see it as that tough of a thing. Of course, very difficult, but I had worked on it so hard during the offseason. Sitting there in front of the media, they asked me, what do you want to accomplish this year? I said, well, I want to do the 40-40. And they kind of laughed at me. They said, for real, tell us what you want to do. I said, well, I want to do the 40-40. And at a point in time, I thought I put my foot in my mouth. So I realized at that point that I had to do the 40-40. And, you know, nothing was going to stop me. And if I did do the 40-40, hopefully I will be recognized as one of the best players in the world.
Well, you did it. I thought you were going to say the biggest mistake you made was pitching.
Well, that too. That came after. And I got the scar to prove it. As a matter of fact, you know, it's funny because this scar is huge. I saw one of the guys had Tommy John. Now they're half the size. How come I got such a big scar? Maybe because my arm's bigger than his? I don't know. But my scar was huge. I'm like, Jesus, I'll never pitch again. Forget this.
Well, you've solved a lot of problems for a lot of general managers and managers, because when you did, and the result, they said, we can never let a position player pitch
That's
again.
it. It's over.
Yeah. Especially, I mean, in blowouts, that's one thing, but not in your case. I think that changed everything. So.
I was a big guinea pig. I was an experiment, and it failed, and that's all there is to it. Well, no more of that.
Yes, he had a great career and a lot to be proud of.
Thank you.
I think that's the biggest thing. And again, the reception you got here tonight says it all, and how much the fans appreciate you coming back. And
the fans were great. Thank you, fans. I really appreciate that.
And I'm sure your teammates as well. You know,
yes, everyone was great. Thank you.
2-1 now to Nick Hundley with the bases loaded. A run in. Dan Otero just trying to get out of this inning with only one run being scored.
Now, for people to remember, you had a twin brother, identical, Ozzie. And what was he doing?
Identical. He's actually managing in the Can-Am League. He played a little bit in the Major League level. He was with the Oakland A's for a short period of time. I forget what year it was, 90 or 91, when Ricky was hurt. They brought him up. And ironically enough, I think in the same game, I hit a ball down the line off the wall that threw me on a second. I think his next at bat, or the at bat after that, he actually hit a ball down the line too, and they threw him on a second. Talk about coincidences. That was just amazing.
Well, you're identical twins for a reason.
Yeah, we do the same thing.
But I always thought and wondered if, as identical as you were, that you'd just trade uniforms. You know, and
you know, that's a funny story, because we have done that in the past to fool people. I mean, he almost went into a boxing match for me. I don't know if you heard about that. But of course, the tattoo gave it away on the arm.
Well, certain things you don't want to do something for your brother.
But
and that may be one of them.
He was going to take one for me.
Tap slowly. Donaldson waits. Grabs it. Throws. What a play by Donaldson. My goodness. So that's how the inning ends. Just one run for the Orioles. And Jose Canseco, thanks for stopping by. Enjoy the rest of the night, all right?
Enjoy it.
Seeing you again, Ray. You still have the strongest grip on the planet. Jesus Christ, killing me.
Score could be worse. What a play by Donaldson.
This is tremendous play. You got to think, well, he's going to go home, no chance for, and then all of a sudden he steps on the bag, bare hands the ball, and across the diamond with a perfect throw and a 5-3 double play to get out of the inning. An unbelievable play by Josh Donaldson to almost, it was like he was taking the throw from somebody, but yet it was the ground ball, barehanding it. That's not easy in itself, but to be able to turn the double play and really thwart what could have been a huge inning for the Orioles.
So nicely turned double play. And Expo brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort. So 5-0 bottom of the third. Moss, Fryman, and Punto. Wei-Yin Chen has retired the first 6. Tapped foul past Ty Waller, grabbed by Davis.
Look at the lineup for the Athletics tonight, and I think this says a lot about Brandon Moss and how far he has come. Of course, an all-star, we know that, but at one time he was strictly platoon. Only right-handed pitchers would he face, but he's in the lineup tonight. Really the only left-hander in there, true left-hander. A couple of switch hitters, 3 as a matter of fact, but Brandon Moss is there, and he's a lot more comfortable hitting against lefties, as he proved last night. Although it was a broken bat hit, but he got a hit anyway in front of the home run.
There's your shift. And that one is belted to right field. And that baby's gone, and the A's are on the board. It's 5-1.
Just all you have to do is listen. Not as Exmo, but you're going to listen. See, I mean, that says it all. As strong as Brandon Moss is to make the solid contact on a fastball. So kind of just like you said about last night, 3 double plays turn, and how the A's were able to bounce back offensively. And here a double play turn by Josh Donaldson, Brandon Moss, first batter gone. When a fastball gets the A's on the board, and maybe good things to happen, and what Dan Otero did to keep the Orioles from scoring was tremendous.
Fryman chases a pitch high, 1-2 to count.
Just such a compact swing and so strong. And well, he was very quick to admit that playing in the All-Star game, as we talked to him about getting a chance to take back to practice on Monday and Tuesday during the All-Star festivities, but and not to have as much time off. And I think he's off to a good second half start, just like Josh Donaldson. That's big for guys who lack a little timing when they have a lot of time off.
So 1-2. In the dirt. That changeup from Chen.
Now Ricky Henderson may be looking to make fun and say, "Hey, I told you put your hands down direction." Now Ricky was the one that convinced him, get your hands down lower, stand a little bit more upright. It looks like he's raised his hands a little bit. And Philly Davis said, kind of a and he said, we'll try to get that fine line between where the hands are low, upper a little bit, and solid base hit to the big man up the middle. Well, another fastball, and maybe swung at a pitch out of the strike zone, but this time, right back up the middle, center cut.
So homer and a single to start the third inning off Wei-Yin Chen. With Nick Punto.
And you look at big Nate Fryman. On his back is the number 35. On the back of the mound, the number 35 for the late Bob Welsh, who everybody's remembering tonight, and they put his number in the back of the mound. You can see it there, the 35 behind the pitcher.
Nice touch. Nick Punto, the 9th place hitter for the A's, hitting .213 with a couple of home runs.
number 35, worn by Bob Welch. Such a great pitcher, such a great curveball, split finger fastball. A great competitor.
That one hit up the middle. Hardy has it, flips to second for one, quickly to first. Got him. So a very nice double play turn by the Orioles.
Looked like had a chance to get up the middle, but kind of flipped it over towards Hardy and then the scope, and that quickly starts to throw a little bit offline going to first. Might pull Davis off, but nice stretch by the first baseman. And that quickly a double play. Orioles could turn some double plays as we showed earlier. And this is a good one. His scope avoided the slide in the front.
All right, she's ready. First pitch to Coco Crisp is running the outside corner with a changeup. Coco hit a fly ball to left field to open up the bottom of the first. Little slider, just flips it in there.
2-4 seam fastball and then a curve slider and a split. So he's got the assortment of pitches and pretty confident to throw them anytime. And second time through the order, not surprised to see the changeup first pitch to Coco.
Coco reached for it and stays alive. So Moss with a home run here in the third to get the Athletics on the board. So 7 home runs have been hit in this series. 4 by the Orioles and 3 by the A's already. Only played 12 innings. Machado's got one. Scope's got one. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. Second strikeout for Chin. Moss with his 22nd home run, and that gets the A's on the board. Orioles with a 5-1 lead over the A's. It is the top of the 4th inning. Jason Hamill knocked out in the 3rd. Hamill went 2+ innings, gave up 5 earned runs. So Otero did his job in the third inning to allow just the 1 run. Scope, Markakis, and Pierce. Scope grounded out to short in the second inning. Taps that one foul.
Well, a lot is dependent on Dan Otero, of course, the bullpen, but especially Dan Otero to give the A's some innings and keep the Orioles from scoring again. Give this club a chance to come back. 1 run on the board is big for the A's so far.
Keeping an eye on the Mariners and the Angels. Ray, no score 5th inning, and that's a marquee pitching matchup. It's Hernandez for Seattle, and it's Richards for the Angels. Both those guys are 11-2.
One an all-star, one not.
Yeah, one not. Yeah.
One the starting pitcher.
Donaldson has it. Fires across, 1 out.
Well, for Bob Welch, as we know, Camp, in tonight's game, people thinking about the great late Bob Welch, and for Bob Welch getting an opportunity to pitch for the Athletics and a chance to interview him during spring training and ask him about what it meant for him to play in the World Series and, of course, with the Athletics.
Well, you know that if you take a look throughout baseball and you say that it had spent 25 years since the Oakland Athletics have won a World Series. So, you know, you're just fortunate in my life to play some great teams, not only there but down in L.A. But it's very difficult to win a World Series. I mean, you start here in spring training, you go all the way, and hopefully you play all the way into the October. But I'm just so grateful that I had an opportunity to play in Oakland for the Haas family, and that we would have loved to match you guys as far as having 3 World Series. But we did compete, and 2 of them we got outplayed. But it's very special, you know, just to get to the World Series now that I'm finished. But the win has much more significant factor now than losing, but it's just awful special to be a part of a World Series.
And it's
so you did that in spring training?
February 28th, and I remember asking Bob Welch during that time, of course, working for the Athletics in the system, was he enjoyed working with the kids, and I said, Bobby, you know, the reunion's coming up, you're going to be in attendance. He said, well, I'm not for sure. And I said, well, I'd love to do an interview with you talking about the '89 team. And he was gracious enough to sit down and do the interview, and then we find out we go to Anaheim. A couple of days before he had confirmed, I understand, that he was going to be coming to the reunion, we learned of his passing. So it was.
The Markakis digging for third, and he's going to stop there. Cespedes gets it back in quickly, and more action for the Orioles.
But a special tribute to Bob Welch, as mentioned with manager Bob Melvin with the Roses. Each player was given one and then placed behind the mound with the number 35. And of course, every one of those players knew how special he was as a person, and of course a great pitcher on those teams. But it was just shocking, I think, to everybody. But he was a good man, great pitcher.
So second and third, 1 out for Adam Jones. Interesting here, Ray. And this is your strategy with first base open. It's more of the numbers on Bob Welch. So the '89 World Series, also won with the Dodgers in '81. 211 career wins.
Zach was telling us last night about 20 saves of the 1990 season when Bobby won 27.
So what did Eck say? He saved 19 of them? Is that what he said?
19, 20, something like that. But I remember Bob Welch was saying that if I had a good game going, a shutout, or a low-hit game, I'd stay in. But I always knew Eck was in the bullpen ready to come in. And boy, was he ever.
1-0 pitch is bounced up the middle into center field, the base hit. 2 runs are going to score. So it's now 7-1. Adam Jones has 5 RBIs in the first 4 innings of this game.
Pierce at second base. He took off on contact, yet the runner at third, Markakis, was not moving. And that's why they were so close together scoring. Watch at the top of your screen. Watch Pierce take off. And yet Markakis is standing at third. He wanted to make sure the ball went through, which he was instructed. But Pierce took off, so I would love to have seen Lowry come up with the ball. Might have had a double play by throwing to third base. But instead, Jones with the infield in. The ball was going to be a hit anyway.
Cruz pulled off that one. He swings and misses 0-1. Strikeout and a single for Cruz. 1 for 6 in the series. Fastball just a bit high. That slider, and Cruz lays off. Cruz is 3 for 17 against the A's this year. So most teams have not been able to contain Nelson Cruz. The A's have so far. Now 3-1.
I think they need to contain Adam Jones with his production so far tonight.
Fernando Abad is going to start getting loose. And Cruz popped it up. Fryman and Punto, and Punto's going to make the catch near the foul line. Not sure Nate Fryman saw that one. He was a little off course there.
I think Punto has a lot of second basemen we saw last night. Same Perino covered some ground, but Punto maybe a better angle.
Yeah.
Nate probably walking over and thank him right now.
Yeah, it's definitely Punto's ball.
Okay, you know, your Seagulls again. They did not realize this was a 6:05 game.
So you're thinking they were probably thinking it's a day game.
Yeah, I think they followed your lead the last time. The A's had the
runner goes, and the throw to second offline. Donaldson taking it. So the shift was on with Davis hitting, and it's a stolen base for Adam Jones. Orioles don't do a lot of stealing, but he gets one there.
He took off on first move and had a huge jump.
So Lowry who hustled over to cover third. Now Lowry gets back to his shift spot, which is just to the right of second base. We've seen Chris Davis hit the ball the other way
a lot.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. Matter of fact, we saw him last night hit one right where the shortstop would be playing in a normal position. And I think since he has come to the Orioles, and I know Buck Showalter had indicated, first of all, playing every day at first base has helped him instead of DHing and using the whole field. That's an uppercut swing, trying to hit a home run, but he has also waited a long time and used his power if you go to the opposite field for a home run or just drive the ball. Right now, Singer's going to score the run. And that is a huge gap for him to hit into, try to hit to left center.
And it's inside 2-2. Davis RBI double in the third inning, and that was to left center. They're shaded toward left center in the outfield. And that may be your shift, Ray. Maybe it's lots of ground balls to the right side, fly balls toward left field.
J.J. Hardy has already hit a home run, but still he's a right-handed hitter with a stolen base by Jones. It does open up first to think about at least the left-handed hitter and Davis, whether they want to pitch to him or not. This is a critical pitch.
Here it is, and it's tapped to Lowry, who charges. He's got it. Side retired. 2 runs on 3 hits for the Orioles. So bottom of the fourth coming up. It's now Baltimore 7 and the A's 1.
2014 All-Star Game with a limited edition Lucky 7 ticket package. You can pick 6 games from select 2014 home dates and get tickets to the September 24th regular season home finale free. Purchase your pack now and you receive a Sean Doolittle t-shirt with your ticket order. This is an online order offer, so visit athletics.com/lucky7 to buy today. Online only offer in Sean Doolittle, one of the 7 All-Stars, pitched very well, striking out a couple of batters.
So Gentry to lead it off here in the bottom of the 4th inning. It'll be Gentry, Cespedes, and Donaldson. And Wei Yin Chin now has a 7-1 lead. Gentry hit a fly ball to center field in the 1st inning. He drives this one to right. Markakis goes back a couple steps, and that's out number 1. Well, down in Anaheim, Ray, Garrett Richards had a perfect game through 5 innings. And it was 0-0, but the Mariners just got a run. Gave up a couple of hits, so the Mariners, with Felix Hernandez on the mound, have a 1-0 lead, still batting in the top of the 6th inning.
And I think the A's just hope that Felix Hernandez pitches as well against other teams as well as he does against the A's, because he is outstanding against the A's. Someone asked me when we were in Seattle, said, well, what about Felix and the A's? And I said, so what? He pitches like that. He's a pretty good pitcher. So he's not just doing that against the A's. He does win that many games and win a Cy Young Award pitching exclusively well just against the Athletics. So he's a great pitcher.
Well, last night those two teams played 5 hours and 14 minutes, and the Angels won it in 16 innings. 3-2. I tried to keep an eye on that game for a while, but at some point you just give up. So a 1.5 lead for the A's over the Angels, who have won 6 in a row. Mariners are 9 back. But those two teams, the Angels and the Mariners, are the 2 wild card teams right now.
I see our good friend Lon Simmons, and I asked him today, I was talking to him, he said, you did it again last night. He said, what do you mean? I said, did you go to sleep and wake up and find out the results this morning? Because he said, it seems like every time he's watching one of the games at nighttime, said the A's are trailing, and then the next thing he said, I'll go to bed, wake up in the morning, read the reports, the A's came back and won another one.
Happens a lot.
Yep. But that's the way the A's have been playing.
Well, last night it was the 7th walk-off win of the year for the A's.
One of the plays that occurred last night that we have talked about, and Robinson Cano had a leadoff double, got to second base. I think John Donaldson, John McDonald,
yeah. Hardy can't get it. A jam shot, and that's a base hit for Cespedes.
That's strength. But McDonald, with Cano getting at second base, kept the tag. He lifted his foot ever so slightly.
I saw that highlight.
Yeah, and tagged him out. I guess, did they review it? I just read about it.
No, I think they reviewed it again. But it was maybe an inch to 2 inches his foot came off the bat.
That's because Cespedes had it happen to him. We saw it. So I think he just pointed out, keep the tag.
You have to.
Yeah, and because you never know, because that sometimes the slide, putting the hand on the bag, that just slight separation between the hand, the foot, and the bag is enough to have the tag and do it.
And I think now, obviously your tag plays are mostly at second base and third base. I mean, it has to be part of your infield play now, holding the tag. Yeah. No sweep tag.
Or have the runner hitter call time as soon as he slides. that way, ball's dead.
But I was thinking about that when we talked about it a couple weeks ago. Going forward now with the replay, what it also brings into play is learning how to slide.
That's true. That's true.
And not having your legs, your feet pop off the bat. It's easy to say. Good swing there by Donaldson. He had a home run rip. Good note there on Josh Donaldson. And sprays it around pretty well. 6 home runs to right field. The one last night was to just a little bit left of center field. One and two. And Donaldson hit a ball out to right field in San Francisco, which is very difficult to do.
It's amazing. You just try to hit a sac fly sometimes. You get into it, have a good swing. And he did it last night. That was more than a sac fly.
So Donaldson strikes out, 2nd out. We had some good video for you, Ray. This was in Kansas City in 1989. A's players, and look at the guy in the front there. Look at him, Steve Vucinich. Now he does what we're calling the Vuce dance here. Watch.
Number 36.
The Vuce dance. There it is. So now it's the Vuce dance.
Wow. We'll have to look at that again. Because just to look at
the Vuce dance,
it probably should just so we can concentrate concentrate on Vuce, because you had all those star players and Big Mac right at the end throwing a baseball in the stands, but you really have to.
There it is.
Just,
it's the Vuce. Oh, he's the best, Steve Vuce, the best.
I told Brian and Ruben and all the guys down the clubhouse, Cliffy, and said, let's go back to that. Go to Adam Road and said, Adam, make us a copy of that.
They may be down there doing the Vuce right now.
Well, that or asking Adam Roden for a copy of the video. It's not the Derek Dance. That's the Derek Dynasty, I guess. Nice sign there.
Take slow, 2 and 1. You know what? It was that AstroTurf in Kansas City that makes you do weird stuff.
I guess maybe he was dancing because it was so hot.
That's a good one.
The turf does get hot, or did get hot. They don't have it in Kansas City. Great George Toma, head groundskeeper for the Royals in Kauffman Stadium with the artificial surface. Did not like it. He said it's harder to take care of than actual grass.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, it is hard. Speaking of greatness, how about Roy Steele?
Yeah.
Stopped by after going over to Diamond Division, announcing the players tonight from the '89 team. Roy stopped by, and
he looks good.
Oh, he looks great. With his A's cap on, and he was the voice of God when it came to broadcasting. They had Roy Steele on the West Coast, Bob Shepard.
Line drive, right field, and then a fall for a hit. Cespedes is going to dig for 3rd, and Norris has his first hit. So 1st and 3rd, 2 outs.
Didn't hit it hard, but got the job done. Fastball away. Derek Norris going opposite field with a nice hit. And Cespedes with a couple of outs on the move, making it the 3rd base. He's almost running the 3rd out. He thought he was going to score. Because he can find shoulder speed by getting the 3rd. So a couple of balls muscled in this inning to put runners at 1st and 3rd. That happened last night in the 9th inning. Softer hit baseballs, but Red Lowry just trying to keep it going. Has 4 home runs.
Foul, straight back. Lowry hit a line drive right to Markakis in right field. Just about the same spot. So 0-2. Sellout crowd tonight, 36,067. That's the 11th sellout of the year for the Athletics. So if they're going to see an A's win tonight, they're going to see a heck of a comeback.
And these fans know that the A's are capable. They will stay in their seats the entire game, waiting and hoping.
All the games are final in the American League except that Angels game. And also the Indians and the Tigers played a doubleheader today. And the second game was 2-2 in the 9th inning. So a long day in Detroit. 2-pitch. That's a shot to left center field, and that's a base hit. One run scores, and it's going to go all the way to the wall. And that's going to allow Norris to come around and score. And Lowry has a 2-out, 2-run double.
When you think about that ball going to left center, surprisingly, somehow it got past Adam Jones. It was hit hard as Jet Lowry went upstairs and got a ball. Look at the gap to left center. As the ball heads out, you figure Adam Jones got to cut it off. It could not, kept going, and once the ball got past him, with 2 outs, Derek Norris on the move and excellent speed, was able to score, and Jet Lowry with his patented double, and it's a big one with 2 outs scoring 2.
Well, for Lowry, his 25th double of the year.
Well, Mike Gallego, he saw the ball in the gap. He's letting Derek Norris know, let's go. And he loves to wind up the right arm. That means guys are scoring. Gang's introduced, and his current team, I thought, is interesting as he came in on the red carpet. They gave him a low 5.
Yeah.
So Mike Gallego was very popular in this club.
So here's Moss, who's hit a solo home run last inning. So the A's trying to climb back into this. Still plenty of time. It's just the bottom of the 4th. Moss swings at a slider, misses.
Mike Gallego introduced. There they are, Perino and Gentry down on one knee, and Mike Gallego introduced, coming down the red carpet, and they loved it. Great defensive infielder. He threw some big hits in that '89 World Championship team.
Swing and a miss. So an off-speed pitch, and Moss missed it. 0-2. A couple of runs on 3 hits for the A's here in the 4th inning. Yeah, gets a ball.
That's a thank you there, because this was very close, if not a strike. I don't know where it missed, but had the corner, had to be high, maybe a little bit too low. Nope.
No, not low either.
It's a gift.
Remember that call.
That's right. Well, Brandon Moss got the A's on the board with his 22nd home run fastball, and talk about just reacting. That's all he did. He just reacted on a fastball. The sound let you know that it was going to be a home run. Exited very quickly.
To pitch, slider away, 2-2. With his lead. And Moss, 1 around, says third base umpire Jerry Neal. So that's how the inning ends. But the A's get a couple of runs, and we think the good luck came from doing the boost. Do the boost, and you score a couple runs. Time for the AT&T fan photo of the game. Tweet your photo to CSNCA fan photo. Put your name down and your hometown down for a chance to be shown in an upcoming game broadcast. It's all brought to you by AT&T. D-Mash from Granite Bay, California. And it's the Mash family. Dean, Zach, Nick, Taylor. Go A's. Appreciate the photo, Dean. Top of the fifth. It's the Orioles 7 and the A's 3. It's time for Change Things Speedy Oil Change and Tune Up. Your oil change tune up and brake experts. Fernando Abad comes in. So a couple innings for Otero, and he gives up a couple of runs.
Well, maybe Bob Melvin and Kurt Yarrick thinking if the Orioles see enough of different types of pitchers, maybe they can shut down their offense and give the A's a chance to come back. The biggest inning is right now because after the A's scored a run, the Orioles came back and scored 2. Now the A's have scored 2 and want to put a 0 up from a bye. So we're going to call that the Voos rally.
Yeah,
dance, right? Okay.
The Voos rally dance.
Yeah, okay. So much for any explanation. We'll just call it the Voos rally dance.
There's no explanation. We played it. A's scored 2 runs, and that's all that needs to be known.
So they probably wanted to get to the bottom half of this inning.
No question.
By that time,
see, the Angels have the rally monkey. We have the Voos rally dance.
Well, if we keep short, it gives the guys downstairs a chance to keep remembering just what this Voos rally dance is about.
So 1 out for Machado, who is grounded out, and then he was intentionally walked.
And these fans are all saying Stu. It's Manny Machado again.
First pitch is inside. Machado and Abad were the 2 guys that had the situation of the bat being thrown, pitches being thrown inside. Changeup, and that's the floater that comes in. That one at 69 miles an hour.
Well, it's like slow pitch softball, and Machado was trying to hit it over the scoreboard someplace. That opened up, missed it by a ton.
This one's foul back. Fastball, so 1-2 the count. Orioles with 4 in the first, 1 in the third, 2 in the fourth. The A's with 1 in the third, 2 in the fourth. and bounced up the middle. Maybe Abad got a piece of it right to Lowry, and that's the second out.
Nice to have about a 6'8" first baseman, isn't it?
Yep.
And Jed Lowry, as Abad did get a piece on it, but Lowry with the throw, knowing he has a big target, and there's Big Nate. The ball made it up to center field. Had Abad not made contact with it, but up there anyway to deflect it over to Lowry.
So 2 outs. Here's Nick Hundley. Hundley swings at the first pitch. Hundley grounded out into that 5-3 double play where Donaldson barehanded it right by the bag at third, stepped on third, and threw to first, and that came with the bases loaded. Big play. There's a shot left field. Cespedes is there. He grabs it. 3 up, 3 down inning. Bottom of the 5th coming up from the Coliseum. 7-3 Baltimore. Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by Roaring Camp Railroads. Take a ride with Thomas the Tank Engine. Tickets are limited, so make tracks to roaringcamp.com today. Some of the great merchandise. Lots of green and gold. 7-3, the Orioles lead the Athletics. Sellout crowd tonight. After 27,000 last night. But the Orioles jumped out early 4-0. A's trying to fight back. As Fryman leads it off against Wei-Yin Chen. Mariners still leading the Angels 1-0 in the top of the 7th inning. Fryman rips one to center field. Jones going back, and Adam Jones grabs it. Got a little Devon White in him, doesn't he, Ray? Got those long strides.
Got a great jump, and that's always important in center field. And in this case, if you break back, you're making correctly because it was over the head of Adam Jones. I don't know what this is. Maybe this is style points. Plastering himself up against the wall. Maybe showing off the Comcast Sportsnet California sign. Right.
1 out for Punto. Punto hit into a 6-4-3 double play in his first at bat. That was in the 3rd inning. A's have won 7 consecutive home games. Very good home record, 31-15 now. 29-21 on the road.
Delaire reminded us that on May the 31st, the '74 reunion, the A's were down 3-1 to the Angels. Came back, scored 10 runs in the last 2 innings.
Right.
6 and 4. Cespedes with 5 runs batted in those 2 innings. So maybe the A's again on this special night, honoring the '89 World Championship team.
Just a bit low, and it's a one-out walk to Punto.
And it's rare for him to walk a batter, and happens to be the 9th place hitter. And Nick Punto, the second leadoff hitter, as he is with 1 out. And Nick Punto knows his job to be the table setter, turn it over to top of the batting order, and trying to get something going again in this inning.
So here's Coco. Coco takes a strike down around the knees. Coco, I don't think, was in total agreement with that call as he goes for a little walk. Coco, a fly ball to left, and he struck out looking. There's another strike called, and it's 0-2.
That's a good sign. Let's see somebody up in the 5th inning.
Brad Brock is the right-hander. 8 relievers in the Orioles bullpen. So 0-2 to Chris. Just got a piece of it. Shoots it toward the on-deck circle where Gentry grabs it. A's with 5 hits in the game. The Orioles have 9. There's not been an error made. Home runs again for both teams. 2 by the Orioles, 1 by the A's. Coco hits a drive toward right center. Jones shifted that way a little bit, and he's got it for the second out.
Plays just shallow enough and just deep enough. It seems everything hit towards his direction. That's why he wins Gold Gloves. And Adam Jones can play some center field. That's the important thing for him when the ball is hit in front of him. He doesn't break back first and is able to get to the ball easily enough. Sometimes when the ball is hit, you think it's going to drop. But he's there. But that's the key when you play shallow, have confidence going back on the ball. Ball in front. Don't break back and allow the ball to drop in front.
He plays very shallow. Markakis pretty shallow and right to it. That's where he should be for Gentry.
Absolutely.
Gentry, not a power hitter, right-handed hitter.
If Chen is a fly ball pitcher, which we have seen, outfielders are aware of that and can play accordingly. Especially in the shallow part of it. Can take away a lot of hits that way.
The 1-0 Gentry with a fly ball to center and a fly ball to right so far tonight. Rolls that one foul. There's that changeup, which comes in at 83 or 84 miles an hour pretty much every time. Pitch count getting up there a little bit for Chen. It's at 84. That's why Brad Brock is up.
He's continuing to do what they do best, and that's wear down a starting pitcher and try to get to the bullpen as quickly as possible. Especially the way Chen has pitched well against the Athletics in his career.
Drive to right. Markakis on the move, still on the move, and Markakis makes a very nice running catch, side retire. So the A's strand a runner. When we come back, the Hall of Famer Tony La Russa is going to join us in the booth. We'll have that when we come back. We'll join the A's on Saturday, August 9th, when 20,000 fans will receive a Tony La Russa Hall of Fame bobblehead. The former Oakland manager who guided the A's to the '89 World Series championship will be inducted to the National Baseball Hall of Fame this summer. He will throw out the ceremonial first pitch before the A's take on the Twins. To purchase tickets, visit athletics.com/tickets or call 877-493-BALL. So when we show a bobblehead, we like to have the guy actually in the booth so we could find out if he likes the bobblehead or not.
He's laughing already. I don't know.
What do you think? Good bobblehead? It's not bad.
What can I say? I mean, it's I appreciate it. That's what.
Well, you have your arms folded. That was you, right?
Yeah, I'm folded.
That's pretty.
And I'm not giving that ugly stare like Stu, you know. So it looks.
Well, but the thing is, Tony, and congratulations, first of all, inducted into Cooperstown, very deserving.
Thank you.
And but I've never ever seen a manager when you managed the A's or in St. Louis, you had that stone look face, 20. I mean, the whole game. Now, you never smiled. Maybe when you won the World Series, but was this just part of your makeup as far as managing? Why didn't you ever just show some emotion?
Well, so you had to be in the dugout because there's a lot of emotion. But I didn't ever want to do a tour and show for television, so I go in the runway, and no, emotion is an important part of it. But the one thing about it, if you're ahead, you wanted to keep the club thinking we got to keep pushing. If you're behind, you don't want to act like, you know, hey, the thing is over. So, but mostly I was just really concerned about what was going to happen next, and I was grinding my butt off.
Well, we knew that. We had your ace closer up here last night. Now you have to explain. We heard his side of him becoming a closer. Let's hear your side.
Well, I give, if he wants to blame anybody, we blame Dunk. If it was a good move, I take the credit. No, it was really one of those lucky things that happens. We got him in '87 because we thought that everybody in our rotation might get hurt, and they all got hurt. So we were looking for starter protection, and they found Eck. He comes over. He's dedicated to working out, and while we were waiting for somebody to get hurt, we used him out of the bullpen. In fact, we used him twice in their first series in Minnesota. We got swept. And he walked out there just boom, 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 see you later. And Duncan, I said, wow. And then Jay Howell had some soreness. So it really was just keeping an open mind and saying this guy has got it. And then we had to convince him that, oh.
Nick Markakis is 4 for 4.
Wow. We had to convince him that in the old days, the relievers were guys who weren't good enough to start. But the era had already changed where now you put together the bullpen like you did the starters.
That's a good resume, folks. 33 seasons. White Sox, Athletics, Cardinals. And we always tell the story, Tony. Jerry Reinsdorf said, that was a bad move by me. I have no problem admitting it.
And he still says it to this day. When we see him in Chicago, we won't see him till August, but he would admit it again because he does it every year.
Well, it's unfair because the only thing, he was the owner, the general manager was Ken Harrelson. And really and truly, I shouldn't have, when Ken got the club, he had a lot of new ideas and probably should have brought his own guy in. So Ken's the guy that fired me, but since Jerry was the owner, I know our family didn't forgive Jerry for a long time.
Well, the A's were very happy because you ended up here for a long time. And
you know who else was happy? Me. Because you walk in here, you got 3 rookies of the year. You got these guys that could have been rookie of the year, like Steiny and Gags, and then you had these veterans that they brought in. Sandy just had. I think I'll just point Sandy wasn't here today. He did such a great job putting his team together.
There's a shot into the corner, and that's a fair ball. Markakis digging for third, and Cespedes quickly gets it back in and actually makes it somewhat of a play at third. But Pierce again, he's got a couple of doubles, and it's second and third.
Carbon copy of the 4th inning. 5-3 put out and then single double. Yeah. Off-speed pitch, and Bob Melvin coming out.
Can I give you 2 cents?
Sure.
As a manager, I always worried about the emotional pregame as a distraction. Like if it was father, son, daughter day, or if you had something
I've heard other managers say that.
Yeah, because
the softball games before the game.
You have to hold your thought because you go to commercial break.
Right.
You know that's part of being in TV. You know that, right, don't you? So
when it's time for a change,
got it.
Think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change, tune-up, and brake experts.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. Coming in to pitch for the
Well, this was the pregame ceremonies. All the players and Tony walking out after being introduced. Had to be kind of a cool feeling, huh?
I was really impressed with the way they did it. I thought the reception of the fans was outstanding. They've got good memories, and it just reminded you, and there were guys that couldn't be here. It just reminded you of how really outstanding that talent of that team and the personalities were as a great club to be around and obviously to pull for.
And we know that you follow, but what Bob Melvin started in 2012 with the 72 team, and he did it last year and did it again this year, and the 72, 3, and 4, and did it having his players, the current team, out welcoming you guys in. Right. That's a tribute to him, and really respect, as he said, respect to the history of this organization, and you're a great part of that. The last time the A's won a world championship. That your thought, your 2 cents worth, but you were starting before the break?
My feelings are hurt now. I can't tell.
Why? Because we had to go to commercial break?
Yeah, TV. No, as a manager, anytime there was a distraction, like if it was a rain delay, that wasn't a distraction. That's part of the game. But if there was a special event where the players, especially if there were emotions like this was today, and then the absolute photo day was another one. You walk around, people say, hey, we love you, take a picture. Or the family day, you always worried the guys would have trouble clicking it back on when it was time to compete.
But that was your job as a great manager, Hall of Fame manager, to make sure that didn't happen, right?
Yeah, that's why I used to go to marketing and tell them, hey, please, let's not do any recognized families or photos.
Tony, you've seen a lot of great teams. You've managed a lot of great teams. Ray and I talked earlier about the 1989 team. When you look at lineup, power, speed, it seemed like the whole lineup, each guy was in the right spot. Starting rotation, bullpen, manager. I mean, when you just put it all together, I mean, that has to go down as one of the great rosters and teams in the last 30, 40 years. Wouldn't you agree?
And not just because I was biased, but if I was being objective, I would put that team against any in history. I mean, what didn't it have?
That's what I'm saying. It just, everything seemed to fit for that team.
And the other thing that there was so many dramatic personalities, big, pitching wise, starters, relievers, hitters, Ricky the base stealer. But the thing that I know the other side, the manager, the coaches taught, we used to play really hard every day. We were so strong fundamentally because the guys around our team, the guy in center field, the guy at third base, the guys that play second and short, and they were teaching the young catcher Steinbeck. We really grinded out real good baseball. And when you do that with the talent we have, man, it was a great team.
Losing in '88, and we talked again last night at the players and coming back, and I think talking to Terry Steinbach in Minnesota, he said we were upset, we were ticked off to lose in '88. Thought you had a better team, ended up losing, and then what it was like to come back. We'll get to what you thought. This is the third out. This is good though because you got out of a second, third, one out. So that's good luck.
So bottom of the sixth coming up, and it's 7-3. The Orioles lead. Hey, threw a little BP back there.
A phantom BP.
You look in great shape too, just like you are now. But you were talking, I started before they made the third out, about losing to the Dodgers in '88. And you as a manager, knowing that you had a great team, what did you do to get the team ready for the '89 season?
Well, the '88 team, we knew we were good. Sandy made all those moves, and we had a great year. We beat a very good Boston team, and then we went in against the Dodgers, and I think Tommy did a better job of getting his guys emotionally ready than I did. And so they beat us, and we knew that we were a championship club. So that team was on a mission from the first day of spring training. We sat there and we talked about it, and every once in a while, just for the heck of it, we would do something that was out of the ordinary to get them ready, and there was no question. They were going to cross every T dot every I. And to me, one of the things about it, when you have a great team and you peak at the right moment, it's just like if you're a track coach at the Olympics. That team was playing so great in the last month. By the time we got in the postseason, Toronto was really good. We beat them in 5 sets. It was a pleasure to be around them. And even with the earthquake break, Eckles, we were talking about it today, very few guys had a ring. So we had to break. Nobody said anything about, hey, we're not going to lose a bit of motivation. We can start this game at Christmas. We will be ready. And so you think about it. You have all that talent. They're mentally in the right place. The way I manage that team is that, hey, we're playing the Baltimore club. The game starts at 7 o'clock.
So what you're saying is you kind of saw a team peak at the right time in '88, and it wasn't you guys, but in '89, it was.
I think we were really good, but we took a little bit for granted for the first time all year. And then as we have learned, have learned over the 14 postseasons, that is such an unpredictable thing that if you get something going early for yourself, you can ride that wave. And they got Gibby hit that home run, and then they had Hershiser the next day. Now we're down 2-0. So we've been penalized by that, and we've also benefited from that, and that's what makes October, so fascinating that it's the most fun you can have.
Eddie, what made you decide the unfortunate earthquake that had the 10-day layoff? What made you decide to take the guys to Arizona?
Well, part of it was that mission thing that we were going to cross every T, every I. And I remember I read Pat Riley's book about Showtime. And I was like, man, this is good. Right before the playoffs, he would take the guys somewhere out of L.A. And for about 4 or 5 days, they just did everything together and they would commit. Let's go. So I thought, man, we can never do that. And all of a sudden, they said, we're resuming play 2 days, 3 days later. And there was forecast of rain. So I just talked to Sandy. Sandy called Walter and Wally, and they made the plane available. I don't know how much it cost. But we went down there, and the fans gave us a royal reception, and all of a sudden we had all this guilt. There were people trying to dump out, say maybe we shouldn't play this thing. What about all the suffering? And the guys just started having fun. And we came back. The Giants were good, but they had no chance.
What did you guys do down there when you went to Arizona? Did you play inter-squad games or?
We were there 2 days. We flew in the afternoon. We had just a normal practice, just to get the kinks out. Everybody. They had 8,000 people there. Wow. In fact, as we flew in, the captain said, "Hey, by the way, we're going to go over the ballpark as we get ready to land. You can see the traffic." And it turns out guys are taking kids out of school. So we did the second day. We took a batting practice, and then we did our coaches game, where the coach threw BP, and we put 2 teams on the field. So guys were sliding, when Ricky hit his home run, he's doing that in Parkway. And it was the guys just, they got that aura of guilt off them, and we would say, let's just get ready to play ball, and we did.
Well, it's the best thing that ever happened, because you're right. When you came back, games 3 and 4, it was just really no contest.
Oh, that one is launched down the left field line. Caught.
I'd be a terrible telecaster. I'd be calling home run.
I wasn't sure where that was.
Well, he thought his home run derby was going to be easy.
I thought it was weird. This job's about suffering. Look at this.
It's a home run swing. That's
definitely a swing. Tony, I see you're wearing your St. Louis Cardinal World Championship ring on your right. I didn't see on the left. Yeah, there's your World Champion. And what, 3 total? 2 in St. Louis, 1 here?
Yeah.
Is that right? You got the other one in your pocket?
Yeah, just because the fans sometimes want to see it, so then you get gaudy.
Nice.
Now that's a little bit obscene,
But that's fine. It's all right. You're world champion.
It's like that T-shirt you have. You dig me like I dig myself.
You mentioned.
That was hit to center. Jones going back, still going back, and it's off the wall.
That was a good haul.
So Donaldson with a 1-out double.
Actually had the video guy in Arizona put together a bunch of at-bats from Donaldson.
Yeah.
Because he does that, where he gets that hand on the ball and he comes down through and gets that spin. Yeah. As good as anybody.
Last night he did it, went out to left center. This went almost out to center field. Tony, you were talking and have talked about Sandy Alderson, who was general manager at the time, and of course the Haas family ownership of the ball club. And we had a nice memorial segment on Diamond Vision, the late Walter Haas. But what did it mean to you as a manager to know you had the backing of the Haas family as ownership?
Well, it was a perfect situation. The Haas family was perfect. Sandy was so bright, and he had Bill Rigney, and he was learning, and he was a quick learner. Then you had guys like Carl Keel and Keith Flipman in the system. It was a perfect situation. But I do believe that the way that they gave you this impression that they cared about you and you didn't want to let them down. And I've thought about it many times. A lot of times, especially with a lot of the arrogance of the athletes, if you show real kindness, man, Next thing you do, they get their spike marks all over your chest. But nobody wanted to let the houses down. I'll tell you a quick story. I don't want to do this, but my first full season, '87, we started out, lost 3 in a row in Minnesota, came in, lost 2 in a row. We're 0-5. We got spanked here against the Angels. And Sandy says, "Oh, Mr. Haas wants to come in and see you." So I go out, and I'm thinking it's going to be the normal, "Come on now, we got it." And he comes and says, "We're really worried about you. Is there anything we can do to help you?" And I went, "Wow, what?" I swear it's a true story. Wow. They were worried about me taking the, and I'm thinking, it's your ball club. Yeah. And I thought, that's exactly what they were for 10 years. They just cared about their people, and you wanted to pay them back by doing your very best.
But when it came to spring training, he wanted to win every game of spring training. You guys tried to get ready for the season. And now Mr. Haas would say, "God, Withers," I said, "this is spring training. Tony, I have him ready by the season," but he wanted to win. But that's quite a compliment for him to be able to be concerned. But he seemed to be that type of person. That was great.
The biggest disappointment in a professional career. There are two. One in 2002 when Darryl Powell died. Our club was so valiant, and we got back here against the NLCS against the Giants, and I thought we were going to. The destiny was on our side, but the one that hurts us on the A's was that Mr. Haas, after the '89 championship, and we didn't want to celebrate, would come to us and he says, "Well, I really want to experience a parade." And so every spring we thought, "Let's get Mr. Haas paraded." Yeah. We didn't do it. Believe me, to this day I'm crushed. Yeah. And a lot of our guys are. Yeah. Well, watching this club, I would say I think they play the game so well for 9 innings. Their hitters never back off. The pitchers are very aggressive. I think Chile and Kurt and the coaches, Bob has done a hell of a job. You know, the front office does a good job, but they are really, really competitive, and they're fun to watch.
So we got to ask you real quick before we let you go. Do you have your Hall of Fame speech written? We like to ask Hall of Famers that when it gets close. Yeah.
Well, Palmer just came in and I said, "Hey, I got 45 minutes." He says, "Turn white." What? I said, "No, it's 4 + 5. I got 9 minutes." Right. So, yeah, I've got it. There's 6 guys being inducted. 3 of them are players. I mean, I'm just going to take 9 or 10 minutes, but I got an awful lot of people to thank.
Well, you should start with yourself, because I remember you in Vancouver, British Columbia, way back when you were a phenom with the Kansas City Athletics and Oakland Athletics. And I mean, you were born and bred right here with the Athletics, right?
Yeah, heck of a catcher and a great broadcaster. But as a scout, you call me a phenom. Well, I was a suspect, man. Yeah, but I remember those days, man. I remember playing against it. He was the Iron Curtain. You used to run into him at the plate, and you just bam.
That's a good one. See, we didn't know that.
Well, his nickname was, we called him the Iron Curtain.
Yeah, Iron Curtain. Now, Tony, well, you were part of that great infield of Modesto too, right?
Modesto was, we had Doug with 46 with a broken hand. We had Rudy with fingers. We had Reggie. And then later on, I went over to Mobile. We had Sal, Mundy, and Blue Moon. I mean, those days were, there you go.
Base hit right field. Here comes Donaldson. Markakis can throw, and he's not even going to throw. He flips it back into second base, and it's 7-4.
There go Ganix. And Ganix was never going to stop anybody from trying to score. You taught him well.
Well, this has been a wonderful 2 days. We're really reliving, and one of the things that has been coming is just how smart our players were. Yep. Gags, really, really smart. How tough Walt Weiss. Right. It just goes up and down the roster. It really was a remarkable team.
Well, and something like this, Markakis does throw so well, but there's a secondary lead for Donaldson, and he knows that Mike Gagney's going to send him, so he wanted to make sure he got the good job. It's a big run, a big 2-out hit. Tony, you have to explain. I mean, why did you retire? Why did you decide? You didn't win a World Series. It was unbelievable. But why did you decide? Third place, all-time winning. Why did you decide to retire?
Well, right now, my wife and daughters are here, and look at this. Oh no!
Look at the shift. Decide retired. Well, Tony, unfortunately, we're going to let you get back to seeing your old players. Good to see you. Good luck at the Hall of Fame.
Pleasure, man. Okay. Thank you.
Look forward to your speech.
All right. See you, man.
Load. The load.
The biggest load.
T-Uverse, and there it is. We honor the 1989 World Championships and the ceremony. That was Roy Steele, of course, Dave Stewart, Hall of Famer Dennis Eckersley, Bob Melvin giving each player a rose. Ricky Henderson doing his Hindu dance, and the forearm bash from Jose Canseco. And for Bob Welsh, a rose behind the pitcher's mound with the number 35. And Dave Stewart throwing to Stephen Vogt, ceremonial first pitch. And there is the photograph of those in attendance of the World Champions 1989.
And they're still enjoying themselves, as they should.
And they know that the A's are just 3 down. And it is the 7th inning, so let's keep that going. But Tony, when I asked him the question right as the final out was recorded, he did explain, and I thought it's important, I think it's important, that what he said as far as his retirement. He said, and remarkably, and he and Dave Duncan were together all those years, but he said for 30 years, from pitch number 1 in spring training to the last pitch of World Series, the last pitch of the season for him, he said he never missed a pitch. He was in every pitch, and he said over time, he figured what it's going to do to him.
That'll wear you down.
But you can imagine the first pitch of spring training, we always saw the look of Tony Russa on the bench. He had that look where he was always into the game. Well, if you're following every pitch, you are in every game.
Well, and you're also, I mean, you're not thinking about that inning. You're thinking about an inning, 2 innings, 3 innings ahead. That's hard to do every single
That's
night.
what a great manager does. That's how he manages. That's
Now batting,
see
number
Bob
2,
Melvin. He's thinking right now,
Jay Hardy.
8th inning, 9th inning, and trying to figure out. He's got the lineup card. Buck Showalter. These managers, at their best, will not be thinking about right now. They'll be thinking about what you're going to do within an inning or so, whether it be a pitcher, an offense. If you get runners on base, playing the infield in. Right now, just trying to get a 0 on the board and back in the dugout, try to keep scoring.
Chris Davis with the leadoff walk. So that's 4 walks issued by the A's pitchers so far tonight. (0-1) to Hardy. Quick throw first. Down in Anaheim, the Mariners and the Angels are tied 1-1. And it's the bottom of the 8th inning. So Felix Hernandez pitched 7 innings. He is done for the night. He's going to get a no decision. So good pitching matchup there. Richards and Felix Hernandez, and it's 1-1 going to the bottom of the 8th. The Indians today, how about this race? Swept a doubleheader in Detroit. 6-2 they won game 1. 5-2 they won game 2. Swing and a miss. Good fastball from Crook. So that's out number 1. All right, big head race, which means a couple of those guys we're watching. Yeah. So Eck beats Ricky Henderson.
You know what Eck said when he was here with the Red Sox and they showed it, and he said, how can Ricky not win every race? He said something's wrong here if Ricky's not winning every race. He's upset that he didn't win this one.
Well, we've got some good laughs out of the big head race this year.
I still like the Blues rally bands.
Well, we'll bring her out yet tonight. 7-4. Oh, 1 to Machado, who is 0 for 2 with a walk. Couple of ground outs and a walk. I like how after the race is over, they just kind of hang out.
Yes, they do. Signing autographs, taking photographs. Think how tall you have to be to even get close to the big head.
And really expressionless, too, you know, just boom, gone. Ah.
Well, they made Ekamoya, and he's not even close to that. That's what he said. How can they? I said, you sign off on that? It's you know, I just let them do it.
Start over. 1-1 to Machado. Top of the 7th inning, 7-4. The Orioles lead. A's have crept back into it at one time. At one point, it was 7-1.
It is a bullpen game with Chen out after 5 innings. He is the pitcher of record for the Orioles.
Slider. Close play as Davis was able to just get back.
Sometimes the kind of plays that Derek Norris and catching the ball, then quickly figuring the runner is trying to take the secondary lead, maybe to advance on a wild pitch. And you come up with a play, handle the ball, and make the quick throw to first base. Then sometimes you're able to get the big out.
Runner goes and a huge jump, but Machado fouled it back, and Davis had a monstrous jump.
See, I always think, and he's got that look on his face, Machado does, because of the right-handed hitter. It's one thing if it's a left-handed hitter, but as a right-hander, you're seeing this jump. The count's 2-1. What are you doing? Let him steal. So it's 2-2, but he's in scoring position. But he got a pitch that he thought he could drive, fouled it back, and that's when he had the look on his face of knowing what he had done.
Beautiful look at the Coliseum tonight. Two pitch slider got him swinging. So after a leadoff walk, back-to-back strikeouts by Cook. That may not have been where Cook wanted it, but he got the strikeout.
A similar pitch that Hardy hit for a home run off Hamler. It's kind of curveball stayed there, and I think Machado, and just watching his swings, he wants to hit the ball 9 miles. I think the crowd may be getting to him a little bit, just an observer watching his swings, which seemed to be a little bit out of character. Huge swings unnecessarily, and actually it's working out well for the A's pitchers.
Well, here's Nick Huntley. Huntley is 0 for 3. Hit a ball hard to Cespedes in his last at bat. Swing and a miss. Blue Jays beat the Rangers today 4-1. Stroman over Lewis. Dan Johnson had 2 RBIs for the Blue Jays.
Yeah, the same Dan Johnson.
Yes, that's the guy. Punto hustling, Moss hustling, and it's going to fall.
Yeah, the Tampa Bay Rays fans will never forget Dan Johnson and what he did.
That's right.
What was that, 2011? I think we were in Seattle when the great comeback by the Rays.
We were watching. We were being fans that night.
So Raiders finish, and then the second wild card happened in 2012. That's why we thought you won't see it again. But there have been some races that have gone down to the wire, and even the Tampa Bay Rays last year had to have an extra game to play off to get them to play in. Traveling all over the country.
0-2 the count.
That's why the Rays believe that they're in it right until they're mathematically eliminated. So that's talked about David Price being traded and all those things. I don't know if they're going to do it.
Pop foul back. So with that loss today, Ray, this still amazes me, and I know we talk about it a fair amount, and we're not doing it for any other reason than it just no one could see this coming. The Texas Rangers have the worst record in the major leagues.
That's hard to believe.
They are 39-58. That is extremely hard to believe. Slider and a good one. Strike 3 called. So Cook comes back, strikes out 3 in a row. Runner stranded. 7th inning stretch in front of a sellout crowd at the Coliseum. 7-4 Baltimore.
is brought to you by Xfinity, home of the most live sports, and by Toyota, #1 in MPG, durability, and resale value. Toyota, let's go places.
Hey, Know It All with Sportsnet Central. It's brought to you by Hyundai, and it's tonight at 10:30 on our sister station, Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. We'll have all the highlights from our game tonight, and we'll also have complete 1989 reunion coverage. It was a terrific pregame show here at the Coliseum. Football news, you're going to meet the rookies, including Raiders quarterback David Carr. Fallon Smith, Henry Wolford will host. It's Sportsnet Central tonight.
Correction, number 21.
They had that nice shot of the big heads and Stomper, ever so small amongst the big heads. So
they stand out, don't they?
They do. Big heads stand out. Stephen Vogt trying to get something started in the 7th inning. Jed Lowry twice has come through with. Check out here's Stomper and the big heads, man. What a big difference. Jed Lowry a couple of big hits with 2 outs to get the A's to within 3 runs. A 2-run single, or 2-run double that is, and then a 2-run RBI single. So done his part. Rest of the club just trying to pick it up and get back to you.
Shallow right. And Markakis is going to get there. He's got it. So Vogt, pinch hitting for Fryman, is retired. 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. The Rays beat the Twins today 5-1 in Minnesota, and David Price. But he's been pitching great, hasn't he? He got his 10th win today. He struck out 9 in 8 innings. And so the Rays have won 4 straight, and they have won 15 out of their last 20.
Here they come.
Yeah, they're still 7 games under 500, but that's a wide open division. And that's the division the Orioles are leading. Red Sox beat the Royals 2-1. The Yankees beat the Reds 7-1. Ben McCarthy pitched well. He got his first win. He had 9 strikeouts in 6 innings. So an interleague victory for the Yankees over Cincinnati. So in that AL East, all the teams won today. So a little pressure on the Orioles. The Orioles coming in with a 4-game lead over both the Yankees and the Blue Jays. Yanks, Blue Jays, Rays, Red Sox all won their games. Reach for, poke foul. With the Indians sweeping the Tigers, the Indians are now just 4.5 back of Detroit in the AL Central. It's amazing what a doubleheader sweep will do with the first place team.
Especially doing it in Detroit.
Yep, exactly. And a foul tip hung on by the catcher Hundley, so Punto strikes out. So 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th.
A challenge fastball and
Now batting,
maybe slight movement, but foul tip into the catcher's mitt. The A's have done it tonight at 2 outs, so they'll try to do it again with a couple of outs. O'Day. They were in Texas whenever he'd come in and
he pitched a lot,
singing that. Yeah, they sang it a lot too. Because every time he came in, O'Day.
He seemed to pitch against the A's every game. First pitch, Coco swings over top.
And remember when Josh Hamilton hit his 4 home runs in a game at Baltimore? It was Darren O'Day who gave up the 4th. Former teammate of his in Texas. So sometimes you take batting practice off a pitcher, you have an idea of what he's going to throw you. Maybe helps. In that case, maybe it did. 4 home runs in a game. Something that's not done. You know, it's probably done more rarely than the cycle. Always hoping for a cycle.
4 home runs in a game.
Yeah. Very rare.
Driven to center, Jones playing shallow. He's going to have to hustle back, and he will, and he's got it side retired. So Brad Brock has a 3 up, 3 down 7th inning, and we are headed to the 8th. 7-4 Baltimore.
1:05 p.m. game Saturday, August 2nd against the Kansas City Royals. That afternoon, 10,000 fans will receive a La Potencia t-shirt presented by NetSuite, which pays tribute to A's left fielder and 2013/2014 Home Run Derby champion Yoenis Cespedes. For information and tickets, visit athletics.com/1989 or call 877-493-BALL. What if they do just a Sharpie and put 14/14 after?
That's a good question.
Or they'll have to manufacture a new t-shirt next year.
Yep.
For the 2014, and I hope to do it after, in case he wins it for the third.
And he could, because now he's got it locked in. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change, tune-up, and brake experts. Luke Gregerson comes in, game number 46 for Gregerson. Gregerson last pitched on July 8th. That's a while. Stephen Vogt now at first base. Donaldson, nice play, spins around, fires in time. Scope is retired.
Another great play by Josh Donaldson, ranging to his left and catching the ball quickly, picking up Stephen Vogt, new at first base. And this is play. Watch this, how quickly he turns, and to be able to pick up his target and make a perfect throw to get the first out of the inning. That's a gold glove play there, because that catching the ball is relatively easy, but picking up the target after the 360 turn, that's difficult.
He makes them all.
Yes, he does. Makes it look easy too.
Here's Markakis, who is 4 for 4 with 4 singles and 2 runs scored. Most putouts in the American League. Back to Gregerson, Ray. Last time he pitched was last Tuesday against the Giants here. Well, that's 10 days.
So that means he could pitch every day the second half of the season. He's well rested. He's a workhorse, as he has proven with San Diego and now with the Athletics. Some quality pitches. So maybe extra rest. It's not affected him, or will not affect him.
2-1 the count to Markakis. The top 3 hitters in the Orioles lineup have done major damage tonight. And that's a close pitch called the ball.
If you look at innings 4, 6, and now 8. Leadoff hitter, Scope 5-3, 5-3, 5-3. And then the damage, like you said, at the top. So Gregerson trying to prevent that from happening in this at bat.
A shot through the wickets of Punto. Markakis is aboard for the 5th time. We'll see what the ruling is.
15th annual A's Root Beer Float Day set for Wednesday, July 23rd. A's players, coaches, local celebrities, and more will serve fans root beer floats for $2 each. Proceeds benefit JDRF. Sugar-free floats will be available. Special thanks to Dryer's Ice Cream, Zevia, the zero-calorie soda, and A&W Root Beer for product donations. Admission is free for the game ticket. The giving.
So it goes as an error on Punto. So Markakis is aboard for the 5th time. And here's Steve Pearce. So with that error, which goes as an at-bat, I got the top 3 guys in their order 8 for 11. 11 times they've been on base. They've scored 5 runs and knocked in 5. That's just Markakis, Pearce, and Jones.
And unfortunately, Jones had a ground out in the 6th inning with runners at 2nd and 3rd infield in. Kept the Orioles from scoring another run. Great job by Ryan Cook to get out of that inning.
Pearce has back-to-back doubles. Did it in the 4th, again in the 6th. Chases that slider, and it's 0-2. Down in Anaheim, it's still 1-1, top of the 9th inning, and Houston Street is pitching for the Angels. His first appearance.
Derek Norris with a ball in the dirt, hit his glove and thought it was in his glove, did not appear in there, so he had to flip his mask and find it. Amazing. I think I read Houston Street got 258 saves in his career. Starting right here in Oakland.
He also were sounded like one of the major reasons the Angels did the deal. And they gave up 4 minor leaguers and all good prospects. But there's an option for Houston Street next year, and it's for $7 million, which is not expensive for a good closer. And Street is that. So the Angels could, and I'm sure probably will, have him next year as well. So instead of having him for 2 months, you have him for 2 months and then a full year. And that may cost you a couple more prospects, but it may be worth it.
Jerry Dakota, the general manager, making the move, and of course giving up prospects, but win for today and worry about tomorrow, especially with prospects, if you don't know if you're going to make it or not. Similar to what the A's did.
Another line shot base hit for Pierce. Well, so Pierce hits the ball hard, and we have seen it.
At least it's just a single this time. It's been a double-double the last 2. Now he's done so well, he's tired. They're going to take him out for a pinch runner. Hanging slider, and
now batting
Pierce got on top of it.
Adam Jones.
So Pierce been on base 4 times, 2 doubles, a single, and a walk. So he has certainly done his thing.
Running for Pierce.
David Lowe, the speedy outfielder, will pinch run, and then he will go out and play left field.
Pierce came in hitting over 300, so a walk, 3 hits, and 1 out. Definitely improves on that.
So here's Jones, who already has 5 RBIs. And the pitch is a bit inside. Three-run homer in the first, walked and scored in the third, 2-run single in the fourth, grounded out in the 6th. You said it last night, Ray. The A's are as good as any team at coming from behind, but part of coming from behind and these type of victories are not allowing the other team to add on.
Yeah, 3 scoreless innings, the last 3 before. Actually, 3 of the first 4 the Orioles scored, last 3 they have not, and it's helped the A's at least climb back within 3.
1-2 now to Jones. Nelson Cruz is the on deck hitter.
A good sharp slider outside, and been working inside then outside, as this one was. And Jones pulling off the slider from the outside part.
So Marquez at second, excuse me, Ray. Low at first.
This thing with the slider, you want to throw it outside away from him.
Grounded slowly toward Lowry. He's got it. Flips to second for 1. On to first. Not in time. Vogt comes off the bag to grab the throw. So it'll be first and third, 2 outs.
This is a very good play by Stephen Vogt, because it's going to be very unlikely that Jones is going to be doubled up. And
number 22,
throw by Punto, while it was quick, a little bit offline, but this is where, as a first baseman, you do not want to try to stretch. Come off the bag, because you know there's a runner going to third. And Stephen Vogt, really not a lot of experience at first, especially the major league level, but that was a quality play. Ball gets by him. In fact, I saw Ricky Henderson against the Blue Jays, maybe that year, 89 or early 90s, but he was at first, it's first and second, maybe first and third. It's a double play ball. Kelly Gruber at 30 through the first or the second. Ricky got on the second baseman so quickly, threw the ball in the stands.
Run scores. First pitch, a strike. Jones takes off for second base. So now it's second and third.
And there, Cruz took the pitch with Jones running in front of him.
It is a stolen base. Swing and a miss. It's the slider, and it's 0-2.
Now he can just keep moving out farther and farther. With that kind of a swing, watch how Cruz opens up. Hips fly open, and that's a full swing attempt. And it's kind of a different setup where he'll close his stance, plant his front foot, and then uppercut.
takes that one. Well, Cruz is a streaky hitter. We've seen that over the years, and you just hope that when you see him, he's in a little bit of a cold spell. In this series, he's 1 for 8. Reached for that one. It spoils a pretty good pitch.
See what Derek Norris is doing. We saw him do it last night. And starts out inside in case the hitter might be peeking or signs given from somebody. So it takes a pretty good pitcher to know the location called is a pitch outside, because Norris sets up inside and quickly moves to the outside part of the plate. And as a pitcher, you have to know that you're throwing to the target, not the moving target. And Gregerson has been around long enough to know that's what he's been attempting to do.
1-2. Fastball outside. Markakis is at third, Jones at second. The Orioles have 12 hits in this game. They have stranded 7 through 7 innings. Johnson up. The slider outside. Cruz checks his swing, and now a full count. On deck is Chris Davis.
And if your number one pitch is a slider, what do you figure this pitch is going to be? Another slider. I think Cruz knows it's just a matter of the location of the slider. That's ball.
And fouls it down the right field line.
And I think that you thought it was going to be slider, and I thought that you think
yeah, that's right.
That's the old cat and mouse catching and pitching game. And
how could you not think slider though with Luke Gregerson?
Exactly, because what else does he throw with a slider? And if you're going to do it, double it back up, because now after the one inside, he may be thinking slider again. There it is.
And he got it. He chased it out of the strike zone, so Gregerson strands a pair. Bottom of the 8th coming up. Orioles 7, Athletics 4. This game summary brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. 7-12-0 for the Orioles, 4-7-1 for the Athletics. Wei and Chen went 5 And it's the top of the order that has been tough for the Orioles. Jason Hammel for the A's, his second start, and it was not a good one. Jed Lowry has had a couple of big 2-out RBI hits, and Moss homered earlier in the game. So bottom of the 8th inning, a little bit of work to do for the A's. They trailed last night and won it. See if they can do it again tonight. Darren O'Day comes in 2-1 with a 1.11 ERA. Very good numbers for Darren O'Day.
A different look with the submarine style pitching on O'Day. He has solidified the bullpen. David Lowe stays in the outfield. Left field for the very hot Pierce. But I think for a couple of starting pitchers, especially Jason Hammel, he'd be so happy to get a no decision. Wouldn't that be great?
Yes, it would.
And Wei and Chen could also get a no decision. Leaving after 5 innings with a big lead. John Jaso, Craig Gentry.
First pitch, sinker for a strike. So Jaso hitting for Gentry here in the 8th inning. This one's popped up. He jammed it. Machado back. Hardy out. And they bump into each other. But it's caught by Manny Machado for out number 1. So Jaso is retired.
A little miscommunication, but maybe the breeze picking up took the ball a little bit farther, and looking over as Hardy really had a better angle. Machado backpedaling to make the play. They were hoping that the miscommunication would result in the ball dropping, but it did not happen. So Machado able to make the play.
Here's Cespedes facing the right-hander Darren O'Day. O'Day had 2 very good years with the Texas Rangers. 2009 and 2010, he was good. But then had some injury situations in 2011. He only pitched in 16 games, and then he was placed on waivers by the Rangers, and the Orioles picked him up. And in the last 2 years, he's pitched in 69 games and 68 games. And his ERA has been in the low 2, so he's a valuable guy. Darren O'Day. One and 1 to Cespedes. It's Jam, fouls it back. Cespedes fly ball to left, a single and a run scored, and then a foul out down the left field line. So he's 1 for 3. Well placed, a slider down and away. The Angels are batting in the bottom of the 9th. They had the winning run at second base with 1 out. We'll let you know what happens there. It's a 1-1 game.
Mike Gallagher making a smooth play third base coaching box because he's smart enough. He's about 20 feet behind the actual box. He knows the power of Cespedes. He throws to him in the home run derby. He's 2 for 2.
This one hit toward right center. Jones, who's been busy tonight, makes the catch.
I've had a chance to see Doug McWilliams, and usually when the great players come out, the great photographer Doug McWilliams comes out, and he came up to me and he said, you know, I've heard recently that you said you grew up watching the great Stan Musial. And he presented me with a photograph of Stan Musial's plaque in Cooperstown, signed by Stan Musial, and on the back 3 photos of the great Hall of Fame Stan the Man Musial. So my thanks to Doug McWilliams. A nice treat, nice gift from the great Doug McWilliams, and of course photographer back in the 70s and for many years in the Bay Area. Great photographer, and a special treat getting that.
It is a special treat. That was your guy.
That was it. Stan Musial, the man. Stan the man.
Inside corner, a strike to Donaldson. Donaldson a couple of strikeouts and then double and a run scored. That was in the 6th inning.
With 2 outs, Donaldson find a way to get on a Norris. Then comes up the hot Jed Lowry. The big hits with 2 outs, scoring runs.
Well, your predictions have been pretty good lately. Got a little Nostradamus going, so I'm not going to argue with you at all.
That's a big word.
That's as big as I go. Anything over 10 letters, I've met my match. 1-2 to Donaldson. Hit hard, but right to Davis, who is playing off the bag quite a ways. Side retired. Darren O'Day has a 3 up, 3 down, 8th inning. We're on to the 9th. Still 7-4 Baltimore.
A's Baseball on Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by Discover RV in Lodi. Come and check out our grand opening and summer savings. Visit our website at discoverrv.net.
Royal treatment for the Hall of Famer, Dennis Eckersley. He deserves that. Absolutely. He was fun to have in the booth, wasn't he?
Yeah. Well, he relaxed, Dennis Eckersley, because he didn't have to worry about the 9th inning going in and save a game, so he could relax. And he was very good, and he's hope Jim Johnson's very good facing his former team. Johnson, the closer for the Orioles the last couple of years, 101 saves combined, and faces Chris Davis here in the 9th inning, trying to get the A's back from the dugout, trading by no more than the 3.
So 6th pitcher of the night for the A's, but the All-Star break. Everybody's well rested. Perino is now in left. Cespedes moves over to center, so it's Gentry who was pinch hit for by Jaso. So Gentry is out. And Perino is now in that spot in the batting order, which is the 2nd spot. Zach Britton, who's going to try to close it again. Could not do it last night.
He knows it's going to take a walk-off grand slam tonight to win at this point. And the A's hope it's no more than the 3. Cannot afford to give the Orioles any more than 9th.
3-0 pitch to Davis as a strike. Davis a strikeout, a double that knocked in a run, a ground out, and a walk. And he drives one to right, and that one is hit a ton.
A 5-run home run there.
Home run number 16 for Davis. And that is the 3rd home run hit tonight by the Orioles and the 5th in this series.
But a strikeout, an RBI double, a ground out, a walk, and a boom bomb. I mean, that was as much of a hitter sitting fastball and wanting to hit a home run, which he did. It's rare that it happens, but that was a swing, trying to hit a home run, and he got the pitch to do it.
So here's Hardy. So 119 home runs hit by the Orioles this year.
It's amazing how much the count in a bat favors the hitter, especially if you can work the count. First 3 out of the strike zone, he took a 3-0 fastball, got a similar pitch to 3-1 and crushed it.
And that's the 5th home run that Johnson has allowed. And Britton now going to sit down, and I don't know if that means he's going to close or he's ready. He's probably ready. And it is no longer a save situation. One to Hardy. Hardy had a big rip. Hits it high and foul down the right field. It's cooling off at the ballpark. Getting very breezy now. Payoff pitch to Hardy. Takes low. So Hardy lays off that sinker. So they're into extra innings for the 2nd night in a row. They played 16 innings last night, and they're playing into the 10th tonight. The Mariners and the Angels.
Now
so
batting,
sick of each
number
other.
13,
well, they
Manny
both know, as they posted the score in Anaheim, with the A's trailing by 4, leading both clubs, one by a game and a half, and one by, what, 9 now?
It is 9,
the
yes.
Mariners, so both know that a victory, if the A's can't come from behind and win this one, they'll pick up the game.
Curveball spins inside to Machado, who is 0 for 3 with a walk. He's grounded out twice, and he is struck out. In the dirt. Machado 2 for 7 in the series. Nick Hundley, the catcher, in the on-deck circle. The Orioles tonight have 13 hits, and they have received 5 walks. Setting up inside, and the pitch is down and 3-1. So it's been Hamill went 2+, Otero 2, Abad an inning and a third, Cook an inning and 2/3, Gregerson 1 inning, and now Johnson. Otero gave up a couple of runs. There's a shot to Lowry. Out at second. Out at first. Both balls hit extremely hard, and once Lowry gloved it, it was going to be a fairly easy double play. 6-4-3.
Well, you like those animal balls when they hit that hard, because it was right at Lowry. And you're right, little flip to Pinto, plenty of time to turn another double play.
Hundley.
Nicely turned by the Athletics.
So Hundley hits, now bases are empty. Hundley is 0 for 4. Swing and a miss and 2. Hundley acquired by the Orioles earlier this year. They knew that Matt Wieters was going to be out for a while, and then they found out Matt Wieters is going to be out for the full season. Did he go? No, he didn't. Hundley was acquired on the 24th of May from the Padres. Could have been.
Should have been.
And the breaking ball. Hundley swings and misses, so he's 0 for 5. And we're headed to the bottom of the 9th inning. Work to do for the Athletics. It's 8-4 Baltimore.
Is presented by authority of the Oakland Athletics and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Athletics Investment Group, LLC.
8-4, the Orioles lead the A's.
Here's tonight's Honda player of the game. Jed Lowry has come up big tonight with a couple of big hits. This a 2-run double ball got into the left center field gap. And that scored a couple. Darren Norris, the trailing runner. And then this big RBI single with Donaldson at second. He scored, and that's where we are now with a 7-4 game. The A's make it 8-4 now with the home run by Chris Davis. So Jed Lowry due up second in this inning. Trying to have a good night after go for last night.
Well, the Orioles leave Darren O'Day out there as he had a easy 8th inning. They'll face Norris, Lowry, and Moss unless things start happening. Zach Britton, who was warming up before, so he wouldn't take him long to get ready again. Norris is 1 for 3. He singled and scored in the 4th inning. 8-4. They're in the bottom of the 10th in Anaheim. 1-1. Mariners have brought in Fernando Rodney to pitch.
Wow. Pros are pitching on the road in a tie game.
Don't see that very often. Good pitch there, but I would imagine both bullpens worked overtime last night.
Well, they were actually talking about Houston Street. If you get up the I-5 quick enough, by the 15th, he could get the game.
Well, they sent a position player down. And put Street on the roster, meaning they kept an extra pitcher. Now 1-2.
And a drop down sinker slider from O'Day, and that's pretty much what he throws. And slider from the right-handed pitcher to the right-handed batter. The right-handed hitter just trying to keep the left shoulder in, not bail out. Think opposite field with the slider breaking away.
1-2 pitch, lifted in the air to left center field. Jones, who seems to catch just about everything, makes that grab. So 1 out here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Norris heads back to the dugout, 1 for 4. There's Lowry.
Now batting shortstop, number 8, Jed Lowry.
A's Postgame Live coming up after the conclusion of this game. Stick around for that. And remember, we'll be back with you tomorrow for the final game of this series. Our coverage starts at 12:30 with A's pregame live. The ball game at 1:05. So Sunday afternoon baseball from the Coliseum tomorrow. Day off on Monday. A rare day off at home, which is always nice. And the Astros for 3.
A much improved Astros.
Yep. Lowry 2 for 3 with 3 RBIs, and he lines that one to right. But Marquez playing shallow, and he got a good jump. And he takes a hit away from Lowry. So another hard hit ball by Lowry, but he's now 2 for 4.
Great point, because you see where Marquez caught the ball. Actually caught a ball that more times than not. It's a base hit, especially a left-handed hitter, right fielder, and he played him shallow anyway. And that's why he's been such a great right fielder for years for the Orioles. Great going after baseballs in the gaps, but also a great throwing arm. And he just robbed Jed Lowry of a base hit. And now he's got Stoker, second baseman, playing where he actually caught the ball with Jed Lowry, and that's where he's playing now for Brandon Moss. There's the shift.
Moss homered in the 3rd. It was his 22nd home run of the year. Struck out in the 4th, grounded out in the 6th. O'Day trying to wrap it up, even up this series at a game apiece. Nice night at the ballpark, though, with the celebration of the 25-year anniversary of the World Championship team of 1989. A's did a terrific job with the pregame ceremonies. It's the giveaway tonight. That one well behind Moss. In fact, about as much away from the target as you can possibly get. Can't even really say it was inside because it went well behind him.
Still looking for the ball.
So 3-0 to Moss. Outside, and a 4-pitch walk. So that'll bring up Vogt, and Britton will toss a couple to get himself ready.
First baseman, number 21,
Heck, if Vogt gets on, I wouldn't be surprised if you see Britton.
Well, let's see him get on and just see. How about that? Just might as well make it very interesting, as the A's seem to do in the ninth, but 2 quick outs.
First pitch on the outside corner with a slider. Vogt pitch hit in the 7th inning for Fryman. With a fly ball to right field. Little jam shot. Scope going out. Still going out. It's going to fall. Moss to 3rd, and the A's are still alive. So just a little pop-up down the right field line. Falls in.
And then Cooks are looking in the dugout, but like Buck Showalter's going to stay. Jam, well, now he's going to come out.
Now batting, second baseman,
Stephen Vogt jammed, but like Brandon Moss last time, found the gap down the right field, although Orioles had a 2-run lead at that time. And this, normally Buck Showalter runs to the mound when he makes a pitching change. This walk, maybe he's going to leave O'Day in. Or not. No. He's changed his style. Can't do that.
He's slowing down.
He's got to be running. It's coming up Friday, August 1st, when the Yankees take on the Kansas City Royals. Fans will dress up as their favorite superheroes in music. The iconic superhero shows and movies will accompany the postgame fireworks show presented by Sunrun. Fans can watch the show from the outfield grass, but as always, on-field capacity is limited. Get your tickets today. Athletics.com/fireworks. On the field, looking up, seeing the great fireworks. The 4th of 6 coming up August 1st. And the A's seeing Zach Britton, who last night faced 3 batters, did not record it out. 6 pitches, lone save of the loss. Knight comes in actually with a 4-run lead, but the tying run in the on-deck circle, which creates a save opportunity. Punto will turn around the bat right-handed.
First pitch is up and away.
But I'm assuming that Buck Showalter figured that with Coco Chris coming up, he was going to turn him around the bat right-handed, so he decided to bring this lefty in to face Punto, to give him that opportunity to face Punto from the right side and then Punto from the right side.
Punto is 0 for 2. Walked in the 5th. That's high, 2-0.
But Nick will be taking a strike. He was taking a strike from the first pitch. He took the bunt, pushing it towards first base, but pulled it back. I would think the way he plays the game that he will either take a strike.
2-0 pitch. Close. 3-0. An hour from Zach Britton.
And again, Punto might be knowing that his run really not that important. He can throw 3 consecutive strikes, and that means he would take another one and then maybe swing 3 and 2. See what he does, see if he's going to force him to do it again.
Inside corner, now it is 3 and 2. So Moss is at third. Vogt will take off from first.
Punto taking this pitch, and he knows that Zach Britton is going to throw him a fastball again towards the middle of the plate. Figuring he does not want to take the chance of bringing the time on the plate. He's got to make Punto hit his way up.
3-2 pitch, swing and a miss. He struck him out, and that's the ball game. So the A's get a couple runners on in the 9th inning, but they cannot push anything across. So after a tough loss last night, the Orioles bounce back tonight, and they win game 2 of this series to even up the series. Game piece rubber match tomorrow between the A's and the Orioles. Final score tonight from the sold-out Coliseum. It's the Baltimore Orioles 8 and the Oakland Athletics 4. You've been watching A's Baseball on Comcast Sportsnet California. Don't go away. A's Postgame Live with Brody Brazil and Pip Roberts starts right now.